when not exposed, he was exposed at times last year because I think he played too damn much. And so if he could be an 85% or 90% snap guy, which is still a lot, on the field and then reducing those nickel snaps because of, I don't care, Kohu or Canada or a million other, Snead, a lot of the corner moves they made this offseason, well then great. I would prefer that. They list him as, in the unofficial depth chart, the starting safety, which I think is an accurate depiction, don't you? I think he will start at safety for this team this year.
Yeah, I think Gilman's going to play plenty, though, too.
Oh, yeah.
You know, if they're, I mean,
I think those are the starting safeties.
Those will be the two safeties. If they're in cover two, you're going to have both safeties out there as well. So we'll see how it plays out. I think he's more comfortable there. I just think he's clearly more comfortable there. He's not, as you said, exposed when he's in the slot, as much as when he's in the slot compared to when he's playing safety. So we'll see if we get an injury update on him. Andy Reid will speak after practice today. Our training camp coverage is presented by Break Time. Whether fueling up or grabbing a snack on the way to training camp, Break Time reminds you not all convenience stores are the same. Download their app and find a location near you. So we'll keep an eye on practice. As we said, it could wrap up fairly early today, and that's when Shamari Connor and Josh Klingler are expected to stop by, plus Nate Taylor. So it all could happen a little bit earlier if you've been listening to our shows throughout camp. The timing will be a little bit different today on our guests and Nate Taylor when he joins us. But let's talk about this division a bit more and offensive line play. And it speaks to the quality of the division the Chiefs are in. But when you look at Pro Football Focus, and I'll say it again, but PFF has plenty of flaws. The one area that I actually give a lot more credence to is PFF grades for offensive linemen and defensive linemen, because I feel like offensive line is much harder to judge for those of us that didn't play the sport. And when you have a PFF grade for a quarterback or a wide receiver, there's times where we're like, okay, that just doesn't match up. I have eyes. I can recognize that. Offensive line play, it's tough to know. Was that a blown assignment? Was it what exactly? Whose fault was it? All that kind of stuff. And so I value PFF's O-line grading. So I bring that up because they were going through and giving out their rankings for the offensive lines across the National Football League. And I was happy to see this because the national narrative has typically been this offseason that the O-line is not good. There was an audio cut that you and I listened to yesterday from Westwood One Sports, where a host on that network was saying he thinks the Chiefs are going to have a bottom 10 offensive line unit. And that fit with the theme of a lot of national commentators because they only watched the final month or so of the season and saw when the Chiefs had their third-string tackles out there and a right guard injury. And, that's not the real offensive line, even if Jalen Moore is going to be your starting right tackle. So I was happy to see PFF, to me, gave a pretty accurate ranking. For example, look, the Denver Broncos are ranked number 1 offensive line according to PFF, and the Chiefs get them right away. It's a great test for this young defensive front.
I also wouldn't argue it. They do have a great offensive line.
Broncos' offensive line did not allow a single sack across 802 pass blocking snaps in the regular season. Their tackles, I'm sorry. Their tackles did not allow a single.
They let up sacks, but
their tackles did not allow a sack across 802 pass blocking snaps. And then their guard was the highest graded guard in football. So
Minerns, right?
Yes. So that offensive line absolutely deserves to be number 1. They're in the AFC West. The Eagles were 2. The Bucs were 3. The Colts were 4. The Chiefs get the Colts in week 4. So 2 tests right out of the gate to find out about this pass rush and how real it is. 5 is the Bears. 6 is Buffalo. We know they play them later. And then back to the division. Chargers are 7th if they're healthy.
I think that theirs is a contingent ranking. I don't argue with the ranking if healthy, although I don't like their guard play.
Yeah, and then 8 was the Chiefs. That's where the Chiefs came in. 8 was the Chiefs. So that's the division. The Raiders, not that it really matters. If you're wondering, they're all the way down at 18 on their list. But the 3 teams we think can compete to win the AFC West have top 10 offensive line units according to this. Makes a lot of sense, and I think it is a very fair ranking for the Chiefs at number 8. Josh Simmons has to prove he can stay healthy and play all year. If he does, I think he has a chance to be one of the best left tackles in football this year.
But then you have the best center in football, one of the best right guards in football.
In a left guard that's emerging.
Fine.
I know Kingsley was a failed tackle, but as a guard, he is a much better player today than he was a year ago.
Yeah, and now he's had a full year playing left guard. So I assume he'll be, maybe it's not a huge tick up, but I do assume some improvement in his game this year. The only real question is right tackle. And you and I have said they are definitely a top 10 offensive line if they get even average right tackle play. So out of Jalen Moore or Khalil Benson, if it ends up being him, which
although
I don't think
Moore continues to work right tackle and Benson inside because of the Trey Smith injury happened again today, where we see Benson's with the ones, but as a guard. That's been has it been a week yet, or Trey Smith only been out for 4? it feels like it's been a week. Maybe it's only been 4 days now with Trey Smith, but we're coming up on a week of Trey Smith not practicing.
Yeah, is it?
I think it's like 4 or 5. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I guess that part of it is interesting, at least in some capacity. But
goes back to
it doesn't really matter.
Friday.
It doesn't matter if it's Khalil Benson. It doesn't matter if it's Jalen Moore. I view them, I guess, at this point, not great for Jalen, I guess, but about the same quality or the same ability to get about average right tackle play. This is the first list I feel like I've seen all offseason that properly respects it. The Chiefs are much closer to a top 10 offensive line than a bottom 10. I don't understand. I don't understand this notion, and I genuinely think it is because people have seen the Chiefs' offensive line fail in the biggest moments over a 5-year time period, whether it be the Super Bowl a few years back or the Bucs Super Bowl even further back, or in some of the primetime games in which they were playing last year, and then they think, well, he got Mahomes hurt because the guy was running so much. The offensive line stunk last year. I will point out that they missed 40% of the season with Trey Smith, 50% of the season with Simmons. They missed, and they didn't have their other guards. They missed games it's just they had nobody for a good chunk of the season. They got down to third-string tackles. No team in the league. Teams have a hard enough time finding tackles. No team in the league is good down to their last. Just out of curiosity, Washington's dead last, I assume, in offensive line?
This was before the injury to their
before the Tunsil injury.
But even before that, let's see.
They couldn't have been good before.
Commanders.
It's got to be like the Raiders or something like that, yeah?
Raiders were 18th.
18th, better than you think. Miami's is really bad.
32nd were the Commanders.
They were last before the Tunsil injury.
It looks like they've updated it.
Okay.
Here we go. It says before. Here we go. So before they actually have a write-up on this. Before the injury to tackle Laramie Tunsil, the group was set to rank just inside the top 20. So they had them 19th.
Oh, okay.
So they fell all the way back to 32.
It's a bad offensive line. I'm dead.
Guess who their center is?
Nick Allegretti?
Uh-huh.
They're talking about playing him at left tackle.
Yeah, he's center right now.
I'm not kidding. They're talking about playing him at tackle.
Center right now. He's played tackle. We know that. We saw him fill in multiple times for the Chiefs.
Yeah, I mean, that would be pretty bleak.
Sam Cosmi, right guard, Connor Lee Jr. That name might sound familiar because we were about a year ago when he was a name that Chiefs fans were talking about the Chiefs maybe should consider drafting.
Yeah. Drew, where do you think Cincinnati is? I think they're probably like 17th. Not a miserable offensive line, but Orlando Brown, I feel like taking a slip back.
Yeah, they're probably put top 20, I would say, but I think they're better than top. I think they're better than like 20th, but I bet they're top 20.
They're literally ranked 20th on this. Yeah,
I think they're better. I think they'll be better than 20th, but yeah, I'm not surprised that they have them there.
Yeah, they were 20th, and obviously another team with a former Chief on their O-line. We all know Orlando Brown Jr., the starting left tackle there for the Cincinnati Bengals. So we'll keep an eye on it, but I thought it was notable that the Chiefs were 8th on this, and also that two of their biggest foes are also in the top 10. And the Broncos are number 1. The Chargers sitting there in the top 7. And then a lot of their opponents. I mean, Cody, how many of their opponents have a top? So Broncos, you play them twice. You play the Colts once, so there's 3 games. You play the Bills, so there's 4 games. You play the Chargers twice, so 6 games. They play the Falcons this year? Yes, they do.
Yeah,
they do. So was that? And then the Niners, and they play the Niners. So out of the top 10, if you just go double up on the games, they play like 9 games roughly against top 10 offensive lines.
Now, the Chargers and the 49ers have to get to those games healthy.
Fair.
Which historically they're not particularly great at doing alongst the offensive line or in their rosters, but point taken in the sense that they will face a lot of them and a lot of top defenses throughout it. The other thing they're going to face this year, as we know, because they always have a difficult schedule, is a number of top quarterbacks in the NFL, which had me looking at the MVP market the other day. Not the guys on the list, Gold. I don't want you to tell me you think Josh Allen's going to win it, or even Joe Burrow or Mahomes. I want to know the guys that are at least 12, 14, 15 to 1. Who is it you think that we should be considering for MVP candidate for the NFL this year that is not on the list? I'll be honest. You're never going to catch me saying wide receiver or running back or someone else. When I'm talking dark horse, I'm still talking quarterback. And I think I had 2 on my list that I believe deserve some conversation in it. One, and maybe this is because I'm just higher on this team in the division, and I think the narrative will help, is Jared Goff. Jared Goff has put up huge numbers before. I still think they have a lot of offensive talent. They still have some of the best tackles in the NFL. They still have Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jahmyr Gibbs and a high-flying offense that I think if they bounce back and were to win that division, which I think they can do, I'm not saying I for sure think they will, I think if they win their division, well, then the narrative will all be in his favor and swinging quite heavily in that category. So I think he's one of the names I would immediately mention in there. The other guy I would say is Justin Herbert, but I think he's too high. He's probably got like the 5th best odds because I think the Mike McDaniel, everyone will want to talk about him. So on the low end of the list for me, I think it's Jared Goff. You guys got a different name?
My only issue with Goff is I feel like his chance of winning MVP was 2 years ago.
It might have been.
And
It very well
he
might have
finished
been.
5th
Yeah,
that
that's
year.
fair.
He had 4,600 yards and he threw 12 picks and 37 touchdowns for a team that I believe won their division. That was one of the top seeds in the NFL.
He's 35-1 for a reason.
If not the top seed in the NFL, or in the NFC, I'm sorry, entering the postseason. I just worry about where he's going down. The offensive line play, everything has to be perfect for Jared Goff in the pocket.
It does.
And when it is, he's very, very impressive. So I get it. You're going further down the board on purpose. That's what we're talking about. 35-1. By the way, if you're wondering, Patrick Mahomes is still 13-1. That's not a dark horse, but that's still as good of a number as we're going to see all year. If you
he has even
are
going
to bet Mahomes to win MVP, now's the time to do it. You wait till after the Monday night opener. If he looks good, I think he's going to. If he looks good, all of a sudden that's 8-1, 7-1. He goes out there and throws 3 touchdowns and looks healthy and good. He's cut in half his odds.
Yeah,
so
pretty much.
That was just on Mahomes. As far as some other names, I'm not going to say Kyler Murray, even though you know that I'm
I
high
kind of
on
thought
the
that
Vikings.
might be your list.
He's 50-1. I'm realistic, though. I don't think he's winning MVP.
I'd rather bet Jahmyr Gibbs.
I am
probably, or
very
someone else.
confident in it'll either be my take that's most right, or it's going to look very stupid quickly. Both are very possible. Kyler Murray and the Vikings, I think they can win that division.
Sure.
If they do that, that means Kyler's playing well, but I don't think he's putting up MVP numbers. He's not going to have a better year than Allen, Mahomes, Burrow, Lamar, etc. So I'm not going to go with Kyler Murray. I'll stick with the theme of how we've talked about these quarterbacks over the last year or so, and I don't know if you'll give me this as a dark horse or not. I think they fit just because of the narratives. Trevor Lawrence is one at 20-1 because Liam
guy.
Cohen, year 2, I think that offense continues to evolve. So that's a dark horse. And then it's not even much of a dark horse, but odds-wise, it fits in your criteria at 15-1. Caleb Williams.
I think that's a perfectly fine answer. Although it's like, again, if you're telling me I can bet Caleb Williams at 15-1 or Patrick Mahomes at 13-1, what do you think I'm going to do?
Well, I agree.
Like, what do you think?
Although
I'm
he has narrative on his side.
He does.
But Mahomes, for the first time,
coming off the injury, though, this is a narrative.
For a first time in a couple years, Mahomes has narrative on his side. Versus 2 years ago where he would have had to do something insane because people are going to give one of these other quarterbacks the benefit of the doubt. Those are just dark horse. Those are not. You're not saying that's who you think is going to win MVP. That's just the dark horse name. If I was just picking one player to win MVP, I would not have said Caleb Williams or Trevor Lawrence. But we had to go further down past 12-1.
If we're talking dark horse, I want to do it. What I point out about Jared Goff, and this is why narrative is so crazy. Jared Goff last season had 5 more passing touchdowns, 4 less interceptions, and 500 more yards than Trevor Lawrence. He was significantly better over the course of the season than Trevor Lawrence was. But in a weird way, it's like people will want to give it to Lawrence. I'm not just high on him in general, so it wouldn't be the answer to mine. Drew, what's your answer?
Do they need to be 1,500 or can they be 1,400?
We'll give you 14. We'll give you 14.
Dak Prescott.
Okay,
Yeah,
thought about him.
fine.
Thought about it. Yeah, I get it. I just hate that everybody seems to think the Cowboys are going to be good this year, and I'm like,
I think they'll score.
No, they will, sure, but if they don't, it goes back to Stafford was the exception last year. Typically, got to win your division to win MVP. Stafford was the exception, but they also were.
That's why.
You think the Cowboys can win the? Yeah, I mean that. If you think they can win the division, then 14-1 is not a bad.
I do
bet
think
for
also very similar to the Joe Burrow conversation. He can have stats. And last year he threw for 4,500 yards, 30 touchdowns, and 10 picks. The defense just couldn't stop a nosebleed. So,
right.
If they make the playoffs and he's putting up these kind of numbers, he's going to be in the running. It's just, do they get into the playoffs or not?
That's the same number Jared Goff had. I just think the reason why I like Jared Goff versus Trevor Lawrence is I think there'll be a better narrative in winning that division, the North, than there would be in winning the South. Winning the South, oh, good for you, right? If Jared Goff managed to win the North, that's a real division of people of highly thought of NFL teams. They'll want to kind of give him the award coming off of it just because he was able to knock through that group in a lot of ways. Versus, I don't know that the AFC South's going to carry the same freight, knowing that right now we think it's, a 2-horse race?
Yeah.
Just them and the Texans are the ones we're taking serious at the moment, unless there's somebody else that's going to really massively surprise on that end. So we'll see, I guess. But that's at least a part of the. I think that's a part of the narrative in the defense.
Not that these guys are dark horses, but just for the sake of the conversation, if you're wondering where the odds at right now, at least at FanDuel, the favorite is Josh Allen, 6.5 to 1, Lamar 8.5 to 1, Joe Burrow 9 to 1, Stafford 9 to 1, Herbert 10 to 1, Drake May 10 to 1. Those are the 6 quarterbacks with the best odds to win MVP here in 2026.
I saw that Jaden Daniels was down the list a little bit to win MVP. I will say he is not making great headlines before the season starts.
Yeah,
it just seems
bad advice. And we know that his mom is very much involved in his contracts and his endorsements. She's essentially his agent, I believe.
Yeah.
And Jaden Daniels informed LSU that they can no longer use his name, image, and likeness. The Daniels family is, quote, deeply disappointed and feels profoundly disrespected that LSU gave Jaden Daniels' number to another player in college at LSU. He feels he's being treated differently than Joe Burrow. Let's stop right there.
Well, they both won the Heisman.
Jaden Daniels, I actually like quite a bit. I think he's a really good quarterback, and he's going to bounce back. Seems to have a good attitude for the most part. I'm kind of shocked that this is the path he wants to head down and is allowing his mom, if that's who's behind this, to do so. You aren't Joe Burrow, dude. You're not. You had one great rookie season. That's all you've done in the league. Going back to college, you were awesome. You won a Heisman. You didn't win a national championship. Joe Burrow, this is weird, Drew knows coming from me. Joe Burrow
He's on one of the single greatest college football teams ever.
One of the greatest college football teams we've ever seen.
Yes.
He also has been in the league multiple years. I don't know what his relationship with LSU is post playing. I have no idea how often Joe Burrow goes back to campus and stuff. I have no clue, okay? But you're not Joe Burrow, Jaden Daniels. So I'm sorry if they treat you a little bit differently. And then the number thing, Tim Tebow's jersey's not even retired at Florida, in my understanding.
Has somebody worn his number since he left?
I do not know, but his number's not retired.
Sure.
It's an embarrassing look for Jaden Daniels. And now at camp, you're going to get asked about this. It's an unnecessary distraction. It's petty. It's embarrassing, egotistical, everything along this for Jaden Daniels.
I agree, and I don't understand why pick this fight. Right before the season, too. Just let it go. Be quietly mad. Stew in your house, That part, I get it. I really do. You're like, oh, man, what the hell? Even if you want to say to your parents or your family, like, I can't believe they give Joe Burrow different treatment than me. It's crazy, in my opinion, for the reasons you just mentioned. But at the same time, I just don't understand the idea that you somehow think you should be treated. He won a national championship. Do you not understand that is slightly different than the thing you did before? Drew, you're a big college football guy and the history of college football and all these, is this out of line for him to say someone shouldn't wear the number 5?
Yeah, I think it's out of line. I don't think it necessarily. I mean, for some guys, it matters more. Like Matt Leinart has come out and said, "Ain't nobody ever wearing number 11 other than me at USC." Which there's a level of.
I think silly too.
There's a level of arrogance to it. By the way, there's 2 guys that were number 15 for Florida this year on their roster.
There's just 2 for Tim Tebow.
Yeah, I think it depends on what you like. I don't think Joe Burrow cares. I'm sure there's other guys that wear 9. I don't think it matters necessarily, but I mean. To claim that he's not treated in the same light, I think is a bit silly, just given the team that Joe Burrow they've won national titles previously, but this is the consensus for the most part best team in the history of college football. I think that there are levels to it where yes, Jaden Daniels didn't win a Heisman, he should be celebrated for that, but you're not Joe Burrow in the fact that your legacy in college is. It's you winning the Heisman, but you didn't even make the playoff in the year that you did that. And I think that there's levels to this. It does look arrogant on the part of Jaden Daniels.
And we're not attorneys or anything, but legally, cease and desist. What you don't have there's no law or agreement that says LSU doesn't have control over what jersey number you like. It's been a thing where you show respect and maybe you get the player's permission in the NFL, right, when it happens then. This is college, but there's no legal stance where LSU is barred from having someone wear Jaden Daniels' number. There's that's not I don't know how they're winning this thing. I mean, that makes no sense. The cease and desist is, you can now, I just do not understand. And somebody had pointed out that even if you want to go down the name, image, likeness route, away from the number, about whether or not they can use his likeness and everything, the contractual window he cited expired 180 days after his final college game. That was a long time ago. It's been 3 years since he played college football. And it's not like he's
the only guy that ever wore number 5 for LSU. So it's not because if he's saying the same thing, that you can go back and find another for example, like at LSU, number 7 is a massive deal. It's an honor to wear that jersey. Tyrann Matthews worn it. Patrick Peterson has worn it. Tyrann's not saying, "Yo, I'm the honey badger. I'm the best one to ever wear this number 7." Leonard Fournette shouldn't be allowed to wear it. Leonard Fournette wore number 7, and he was obviously great in it. Like I think there's in college,
the players change every 4 years.
Yeah, in college, it's just different. Where some schools do retire the jersey, but if they didn't retire the jersey though. Like for Matt Leinart, number 11, I believe is retired if I remember right for Matt Leinart. Like if it's retired for them, then the player should be able to say bring it out or not. But if it's not even retired, then I don't know why Jaden Daniels is doing this. You know, he's wasting his time and his energy on, or at least his team is, on something that's totally useless and makes him look bad.
But even if it was retired, what's the legal stand? Like that's what I'm getting at. Is like even if it was retired, there's no legal standing here for him. Like this is crazy. By the way, Lane Kiffin says the number was promised to a player that's now on their team, DJ Pickett, during recruiting. Really so that would have been from Brian Kelly's era. The school made that commitment, which is not a crazy thing, by the way. Coaches during recruiting can promise a player a certain number all the time.
Can I also point out
DJ Pickett said he's going to keep wearing the number. He's not rattled at all by this. He's going to keep wearing number 5.
Yes. Some of this is like shut up. You spent 2 years at LSU. You spent more time at Arizona State than you did with the Tigers. And now you think you need preferential treatment? Get out of here.
All right, coming up next, we continue broadcasting live from Chiefs training camp. Josh Klingler, who will be on the sideline this Saturday for the Chiefs radio network. He's going to stop by, give us some thoughts on what he's seen from camp, and look ahead to who he's watching on Saturday. That's coming up here on 96.5 The Fan.
What's up, Kansas City? This is Vinny Pasquantino, and you're listening to Cody and Gold, weekdays starting at 10 on 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
Back to school is here, and your life just got busy. Skip one stop on your to-do list with Hy-Vee online shopping. Order groceries on the Hy-Vee app or at Hy-Vee.com. Choose pickup or delivery, and let us do the shopping for you. One less errand, one more win for busy families. And don't forget, Hy-Vee Perks helps you save even more with Fuel Saver rewards and exclusive deals. Back to school made easier, only at Hy-Vee.
There's nothing like Chiefs game day, and whether you're hosting a crowd or keeping it low-key, you gotta be ready. Get everything you need for game day in one easy stop at Hy-Vee. Grab ribs, wings, party trays, dips, and those amazing Chiefs-themed cookies and cakes. Plus, a huge selection of beer, wine, and spirits. They even have official Chiefs gear in every size and style for the whole family, so you're repping red on game day. Order online for pickup or delivery and let Hy-Vee do the shopping. It's a total game changer. Elevate your Chiefs game day only at Hy-Vee.
Hi, I'm Tom Shane, third-generation owner at Shane Company. As a family jeweler for almost 100 years, we're known for doing right by our customers. Our legacy of integrity depends on it. We stand behind our engagement rings with our all-inclusive free lifetime warranty. We handpick the most beautiful diamonds, then negotiate for the best price. At Shane Company, we put you first because a friend always has your back. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
And Doug.
Limu and I created a trick to help you remember that you can customize your car insurance and save with Liberty Mutual. You see, the shirts Limu and I wear are yellow, and yellow is the color of lemons. And lemons grow on trees, and trees provide oxygen. And oxygen helps us breathe, and breathing is how you live. And you can live more life when you save money by customizing your car insurance. I agree, Limu. It's really quite simple. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty. This summer, the Honey Pepper Pimento Chicken Sandwich and Pineapple Dragon Fruit and Sprite are back at Chick-fil-A.
Let me tell you about the Pineapple Dragon Fruit and Sprite. It's bright, it's bubbly, it's back.
The Honey Pepper Pimento Chicken Sandwich, it's so rich, and you can choose between the original or the spicy filet.
Ooh, boy.
And then you got those pickled jalapenos tucked right under the filet, and then just to top it all off, you've got a little honey drizzle right on top.
Okay, now I'm a pimento fan.
And I'm feeling the dragon fruit.
Which fan favorite favorite will you choose? Real customers paid for their testimonials.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Hey, Mom, now that I have an after-school job, I think I want to buy a drum kit.
Okay, Rockstar. Let's look at your account.
When kids start making money, Chase has easy-to-use tools and expert bankers to help them learn how to manage it.
And next month, I'll buy the bass drum and the cymbals. Oh, and maybe some noise-canceling headphones for you.
Aw, you've thought of everything.
Help kids save, budget, and build financial independence, all with Chase. That's good for kids and good for parents. Visit your local Chase branch and get started.
Account subject to approval. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
Skechers elite athlete OG Anunoby has been making history on the basketball court.
Anunoby tips it in. Unbelievable. What a shot.
He's been balling out in Skechers high-performance basketball sneakers, and the world is noticed. But how does OG train off the court to keep in peak physical condition? Hands-free Skechers Slip-ins Aeroburst. They help prepare OG for the physical demands of playing at a championship level. Get your pair of Aeroburst for only $165 at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever high-performance running shoes are sold.
Royals coverage brought to you by Metal by the Foot, your metal project superstore.
Where can you find an extensive line of Blue Demon welding supplies, filler, rods, and wire? Metal by the Foot, located in Casey and Topeka. Online at metalbythefoot.com. When you need a piece of metal, remember, metal doesn't have to cost an arm or a leg, just the foot.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
All right, we're back up here in St. Joe. It's Cody and Gold, Alex Gold, Cody Tapp, Drew Nixon with you till 2 o'clock. We're going to have Nico Remigio stop by here momentarily. Practice just wrapping up, so probably in the next 5 minutes or so, Nico Remigio could join us. We'll talk to the Chiefs return man, what they expect this year. Obviously, last year, very disappointing return game. A lot of reasons for that. We'll find out how perhaps they can correct that moving forward. Don't forget, our training camp coverage is presented by Yuengling Flight. Football season starts here. Reach for Yuengling Flight, the next generation of light beer. Enjoy responsibly. We're now joined by Josh Klingler from the Chiefs Radio Network. He'll be on the sideline Saturday afternoon where the field will be nice and cold for you. And I'm sure you will have no problem staying warm.
Getting the pre-sweat on now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, smart.
Kind of stacking those days. You know what I mean?
Stacking those days.
Are you guys been stacking? I know you guys
got
to
keep stacking the days.
And
we're on day 11. We've stacked lots of days.
And if Nico comes over here appropriately enough, I will hold.
You'll stay to the side?
I will hold while you guys are talking.
If you want, you can fire one from the gallery.
No, I'm
you
good.
can yell over the railing something you want to learn from Nico
comes
Remigio.
by. Nico comes by. I'll hang out for a bit.
I will say, I mean, genuinely, the worst unit by far on the field last year, and the offense was mediocre for a chunk of it, was the special teams. They couldn't make a field goal. They couldn't make extra points. They couldn't return a kick. Like, they weren't good at any of it. And Dave Tobe has largely been lauded as one of these guys who's an innovator, and I think his plan for the new kickoff returns stunk. I don't think he had a good plan. He thought something would work and it didn't, so I hope he made adjustments this offseason.
Yeah, I think everybody kind of got caught off guard. Like, what is going to work? Even in the preseason, remember last year, they're all still kind of tinkering. And then you are at the mercy of your roster a little bit too, not to make excuses for it. But I think year to year, I think what's been great is they've continued that kind of tradition of being a good special teams unit.
Yeah.
Because you got guys in and out. These are last guys on the roster or guys that, maybe a couple of years in, but for the most part, you're kind of dealing with, who's kind of left that can play special teams for you. So
and usually like wide receivers or running backs.
Yeah, you don't always know. So the revolving door of personnel, I think, makes it a little bit difficult. Not to excuse things, but it was surprising that they weren't very good in all capacities of that last year, because it's been such almost a given that they were going to be very good in those departments and set this team up to do some different things, kick long field goals, flip the field on punts. It's just those are kind of normal things we expected out of this team that didn't happen last year. So, yeah, they're going to have to be a lot better in that regard this year.
One of the most noticeable things we've seen up here has been the run game, and with Kenneth Walker. You've been around this team for plenty of years. You've seen different running backs come through. He just looks different, right? They just haven't had this in that backfield in a very long time.
Well, I thought what stood out to me was somebody the other day asked Patrick Mahomes about, like, what's different in this offense, and he just smiled and he said 9. And I thought that was big because it's he's not going to throw somebody under the bus, but it was clearly like this guy's a different kind of cat at that position that they haven't had before. So I think that's a huge positive, and he's going to provide so many different things offensively. And then you got to give him a heavy workload too. Last year they spread it around because they kind of had to. This year, let's see a lot of number 9.
Kling, we're going to ask you to step aside for just a moment.
I'm gonna fair catch, and I'm gonna move off the side.
That's right.
And I'll be back to you.
We'll be back with you in just a minute. We'll talk to Kling more in just a second.
Kling said he's 3-minute chunks with him is what we're getting. 3-minute chunks, and then he'll come back. He's needed a little breather, and he'll come back in a couple of minutes as well as Nico Remigio is going to make his way over to our table, Chiefs return man. And don't forget, our player interviews here live from Chiefs training camp are brought to you by the St. Joseph Convention and Visitors Bureau. Plan your trip now at stjomo.com. That's stjomo.com as you sign some autographs for some fans that are up here in the tent. So he'll join us in just a second as well. But, yeah, when you think about practice today, Cody, this was, I think you said it, this is probably the lightest one of the year. We'll ask Nico about that. Maybe he disagrees. It's pretty damn hot outside still, but they didn't have pads on. This is one of the Andy Reid's easier practices you're ever going to get.
I think, for 10-10-10, that tends to go a little bit lighter. Plus, it has been really hot. He put them in full pads yesterday. They ran a 2.5-hour practice yesterday, and so I'm sure by comparison, Gold, this is quite a bit better, you would think. So we'll find out from the man himself here in just a moment. There we go.
All right, we'll get his headset on here. We got Nico Remigio joining us here on 96.5 The Fan. We were just saying, I know maybe you disagree. We know these are, I'm assuming these are one of the practices that you guys kind of enjoy a little bit here right before you guys head over to Arrowhead on Saturday.
No doubt. It's definitely one of the favorable ones for sure.
Especially in this heat, I feel like adds to it. Andy likes to, and I don't know your background entirely, but like Fresno State and all that.
Yeah.
Different in the Midwest for you, humidity-wise, or about
yeah.
the same as some other areas you've played?
Yeah, in Fresno, it's a little bit more of a drier desert heat.
Yeah.
But no, the humidity here is a little bit different for sure.
We were learning a little bit about, so we look it up and we're like, all right, let's get to know about Nico a little bit. We know that you take a lot of pride in being Filipino, and that's a big part of the culture, I guess. Why? At what point in your life did that become even more important for you? Was it the trip you took with your family? When did you start embracing that, I guess, more and more?
Yeah, I mean, being Filipino has always been a part of my identity. Shoot, I mean, it's half of me. So, growing up half Filipino, growing up with a Filipino family, that part of my identity has always been an important aspect for me. And, the higher levels that I got to in football and, being able to get on a bigger platform, on a bigger stage, representation really became important to me, and representing a marginalized community, in the athletic space, I felt like was important for me to really put on for my people. And at the end of the day, I'm just so proud and honored to be Filipino, and I want people to know what that is and know who we are as a people.
I saw you said when you were a kid, Bruce Lee movies were big for you because of that? You still watch them?
Oh, man, all of them. Enter the Dragon, I can go line for line.
Okay, I've never seen a Bruce Lee movie. If I'm just getting one, is that the one?
Oh, that's the one. That's the one for sure. Enter the Dragon.
What's the last movie? Bruce Lee or not? What's the last movie you've seen? Have you seen a new Spider-Man or what?
The last movie I watched was The Odyssey.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. 3 hours though, man. It's a long movie.
I enjoyed it though. I just want to know what their budget was for actors because they had everybody and their mother in that movie.
Christopher Nolan gets a blank check, I think.
Yeah, I know the budget's got to be way out of control. We got Nico Remigio joining us here on 96.5 The Fan. The return game. How do you guys look at that this year? Last year I'm sure it was frustrating for you guys.
No doubt.
With the lack of return game. How do you tweak that? How do you guys improve there?
Yeah, no, there's definitely a lot that we were able to learn from last year. I think that was the biggest thing. And really for me, even as a returner, right, like these new kickoff rules and, the game in general is always evolving and teams are figuring out ways to, compete better and be more competitive. And, I think going into year 4 now, even just for me as a returner, having more experience under my belt, more familiarity of what works, what doesn't work, and then, just another year of working with Coach Tobe. It's a very collaborative thing, and I'm just so honored to be able to be coached by him. And he's really a genius when it comes to this, and is always looking to get us a competitive edge. And I'm really looking forward to this season and what he has in store.
One of the things he mentioned was the vision, I guess, for you to improve your vision. I guess it sounds silly, but how do you go about improving your vision? How do you do that?
It's just being more decisive. And I can't give all the secrets, but, there's stuff that I've been working on in the back end, and just being able to slow it down. But at the end of the day, it's really just experience and having been there before, knowing what works and what doesn't work.
Injuries have plagued the group a little bit over the last couple of years. What do you make of so far what you guys have in the wide receiver room this season?
Yeah, I'm really excited, and especially with the addition of Coach CO in the room. Man, he's got a world's of experience under his belt, and has worked with so many great wide receivers. So, I think under his guidance and the talent that we already have in the room, Chiefs fans have a lot to look forward to this upcoming season.
How would you describe his style of coaching?
Yeah, again, he's just very experienced, very professional. He's very hard on us and is very detail-oriented, but at the same time is the coach that's going to give you your flowers when you do something good, and love up on you to build you up as a player.
For those who look, we can search the internet and find a couple of things, but how do you spend your free time? How do you spend time outside of football? What things are important to you?
Yep. Yeah, well, man, I'm always with my wife. We just got married this past March, so, we're really just enjoying this time that we have together. And, I'm a California kid at heart, so, I love the beach. I love being on the water, bodyboarding, surfing. I just started picking up golf, so I just really love being outdoors, man. That's me.
What's the handicap right now then? How's the golf game?
Oh, not good.
No, are you in the double digits yet? Or are you still shooting over 100?
I've gotten into double digits, high double digits, but still working on it.
I think last year we had Xavier Worthy on, and he was just maybe getting going with golf as well. Is he better than you right now?
Oh
golf?
yeah.
Okay.
No, I went out with X this past OTAs, and X has got it down now. He's been getting his reps in.
So you can get advice from him then.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You mentioned your wife though. I think you maybe a week or so ago were speaking at the tent over there, and you were saying that I think she went through the conditioning test similar to what you guys would do here. How did that go? Because that happened, right?
Yeah,
she kind of mimicked the same test.
Yep. No, I mean she, her being a track athlete, she's like, oh, this is nothing. It's gonna be a breeze, and I'll tell you what, by rep, 7, 8, she's like, she was going through it. So it definitely wasn't a breeze in the park, but no, I love being able to work out with her, and all the content that she's putting out is a lot of fun as well.
I saw you gave yourself 0 to 200 meters and her anything after 200 meters. Is that right?
Yeah, for
in
sure.
a race?
Yeah, I'm definitely the sprinter in the family. So
okay, at least on that. I know culturally karaoke's huge, obviously, in that community too. Is that a part of something you'd be able to take part?
Oh yeah.
Okay, what's your song?
Man, "Stuck on You" by Lionel Richie.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, baby.
So, you got to have one go-to.
Yeah, so
go back to your rookie year then, when you were coming in, obviously, from Fresno State. Did you? They had the rookies had to do something. Did you have to sing in front of the team? You would have been probably comfortable doing it.
I lucked out. We didn't have to do any of that.
They don't do that anymore?
Nah, not anymore. But
wow,
yeah,
all right.
Out.
Well, I mean, you could, if you're already experienced, you might have been better than most.
No doubt.
All right, Nico, before we let you go, have you opened some sports cards before?
Yeah.
All right, so our
Let's check
friends
this out.
over at the Art of Sports gave us some Topps Chrome football. We're still looking for an auto, so if you want to open a couple of these packs with us here.
All right.
I think we've got, Brashard Smith and a Worthy, and then a couple Jalen Hurts numbered cards. But
that's it.
Yeah,
only 2 Chiefs.
No autos. We're looking for color or autos. The first player up is a Chief, though. Is that Brashard? Who we got?
Nah.
Oh, no.
Trip McDuffie.
James
what's this
Cook.
next? Oh, we got Barry Sanders number. All right.
Okay. That's one of the better ones we've
gotten. I was
got.
about to say, how do these rankings go?
Yeah, so
that's a base card. That's just standard. This is a base card.
You're looking
when you start seeing numbered, that's good, or color.
Yeah, so you want cards that have a little color to them or numbers, so that's not bad. It's a Barry Sanders out of, what does that say, 275?
Yep.
And then you always want autos, so let's see. Cody's got another stack. Let's see. What did we get over
Yeah,
there?
it looks like numbered Joe Mixon, 7 out of 150.
All right. We really want an auto, frankly, Josh Allen or somebody like that. Mahomes doesn't sign in this product, so we couldn't get a Mahomes auto. But, all right, last pack.
Let's see what this other one is talking about.
Nico
Maybe you're the good luck charm. Let's see. Oh, there's an auto. See?
Who is our auto?
Yeah, Jaden Daniels.
all right.
Hey,
See, that's a good
our
one.
best hit. That's our best hit. That's a good hit right there. He's been in the news today, too. So, Jaden Daniels, all right.
Nicely done.
That's a great card.
We'll make sure we get it in the
Charm, baby.
case.
How about that? Nico Remigio.
We needed somebody to be
3 of 25 Daniels auto. That's by far the best card.
Sweet.
Good stuff. There you go.
Appreciate you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Nico Remigio joining us here on 96.5 The Fan. Our player interviews are presented by the St. Joseph Convention and Visitors Bureau. Plan your trip now at stjomo.com. That's stjomo.com. Let me sleeve that one up, Cody.
I was like, come on now.
That is that's a legit card right there, man. It's not a Jaden Daniels rookie, but that's funny because he's been in the news and we've been talking about him all day today.
We were talking about him literally right before Kling sat down. Who can join us again, by the way?
The day we grab that pack, so Artist Sports in Leawood, they gave us 15 bundles, which had 3 packs in it, and they numbered them out 1 through 15. And for the first 7 days of camp, I was going by the number. And today I'd grab pack, I think we grab 11.
11.
So out of order. And we end up with a Jaden Daniels auto on the day that we're talking about Jaden Daniels upset that people at LSU aren't giving him enough respect.
But Gold, out of those 3 packs, 3 numbered cards and an auto.
Yeah,
that's by far our best day.
Yeah, that's big time.
And look, I'm not saying a Joe Mixon numbered card is worth much. Something happened in his body, and that man may never play football again. But at least on there, Kling, you're back.
Hello.
Thanks for coming back.
This is just like a regular broadcast. I get into a thought, and then Mitch and Dana want it back. You know what I mean? So it's pretty much the same thing.
You're used to it.
Yeah.
Can you believe, though, Kling, for you, like, is this 7 years on the sideline for you?
According to the press release I saw, yes.
Because that's where I saw the number.
You're number
That's
7.
crazy.
So, yeah.
7 years on it
Yeah,
already?
it's gone quick.
So I want to ask you about the most important guy at camp. Let's be honest, Patrick Mahomes.
Oh, my gosh.
What have you made of how he looks at camp this year? Not just the injury stuff, but just in general. How does Patrick Mahomes look to you? He's obviously plenty of experience, and I know that he's probably ready to, try to take it out on the league, I hope.
Right.
But what have you seen out of him in camp so far?
So when did they start the Olympic flag football?
That would have been.
So the next one.
The next one.
He could play right now on that team and just sizzle.
Oh man,
because we haven't seen any contact, obviously, right? They're not going to hit him great. He's not playing in the preseason, he's not playing Saturday, I should say. I hope for one, just bubble wrap him till opening day. But oh my gosh, every day I've been up here, he's been amazing.
I know it.
There was maybe 2. There was even a day last week. It was one in particular practice. I'm like, he was on a different level.
Oh,
even than that. It was last Wednesday or Thursday, it was like,
yeah.
oh no, he's on
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
You'd pointed it out to us too. He was hitting everything deep. Everything was sharp. Everything was strong. Everything was hard. It looked just like he was at a different level.
Yeah, he threw this laser to Tyquan Thornton, and I'm like, okay, I've seen enough. But also, you just see him running around. He doesn't look gimpy. His arm is obviously great. He's in total command of everything that's going on, and he's going to be pushing them as hard as anything to play on opening day. And I was never probably going to rule him out anyway, but good grief, he looks very much the part. There's even been times where he's done stuff where I'm like, can I go grab the back of his shoulder pads and rip him?
No.
There was one play he pitched it out wide to Kenneth Walker and then started to go around the end like he was going to block, and I might have been an audible no.
Well, I saw one play they ran that Josh Allen between the guard and the tackle run. I was like, I know that this is just a dry run, but do we need that one in practice?
So
or can we just pretend that that's not the case?
He's been terrific. So I've not that you're going to have a ton of questions about him anyway, other than the health, and the health looks great. I mean, he's running around and looks fantastic, and if he keeps progressing, they're going to have a hard time holding him out.
Do you think Monday night Arrowhead against the Broncos?
Yes.
That first opportunity.
Yes, he's playing.
Yeah.
Well, yes, I would agree with that.
I'm with yes.
Are we going to see he's got an opportunity to go down the sideline, step out of bounds, or pick up an extra couple yards? Is he gonna be able to hold himself back? Is he going to be able to do that, or is he willing to? Is he going to get the shimmy and go up for another 10 yards?
Oh, boy,
it's a real question.
It is. I mean, I hope he just ducks out of bounds because if you're him, don't you say I could pick it up with my arm?
I think he will. I think he will step out of bounds unless it's the fourth quarter. And it's a tie game, or they're down 4, and he's going towards the end zone. And then I think mind over matter, and he won't be able to hold himself back.
They're struggling a little bit offensively, and they need to make a play, and he's not finding some stuff down the field, and he does one of those. Yeah, I mean, I don't think you're ever going to take that out of him, and I don't think they're ever going to ask him to not do those things. I mean, everything we've heard from all the coaches here at camp has been there's no restrictions on him. There's no limitations on him. There's no testing, really, we have to test to see if he can do this. It's basically he's doing this. and we're going about practice as usual. So it's been pretty cool to watch because he's been in really good form, and I've almost tried not to watch him because it's like, okay, just let him be for a little bit. But I just think, guys, he's been really good this entire camp.
How much better do you think the offense will be overall this year, in your mind? Last year, they were a good EPA per play team. They were like 10th, 11th in points per game before Mahomes went down.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't – I don't want to make it seem like it was a laughing stock of an offense. It wasn't. But it looked hard at a lot of times last year. Do you think it'll look easier this year?
I guess assuming they loosen the reins and allow Kenneth Walker to do some work to kind of set things up and soften things up for defenses, right? If the offense changes from what it was, say, last year where it's run it once, don't have success, and kind of go away from it, if there's like a concerted effort to make sure he's getting involved offensively, I think that's going to help out everybody. I mean, I'm not unlike you and probably a lot of people. Like, these wide receivers got to prove it. Like, so I don't know where this offense goes, because there's a lot of you got to prove it to me's in that, especially that wide receiver room. I'm not of the ilk where I need a lesser role for Travis Kelce. I don't.
I'm good with the role he had.
You're fine with the offense still running through it?
Well, if there's not any natural pieces that are stepping up and he's the one producing, I don't care. Like, he's here, I'm going to use him, right? I'm like, till the wheels fall off.
Yeah.
And then hopefully others emerge around him to force that action. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to force feed somebody else because Travis Kelce's another year older. If Travis is making plays, I'm giving him the ball. But I do have questions about, the wide receivers have a lot to prove, all of them, like every single one of them. I'm also in wait to prove it mode on Cyrus Allen, as great a camp as he has had.
Nate, who's joining us here in about 10 minutes, he's the leader of the hype train.
Right.
I
mean, part of me backs off because I say, they need him to be good. So is he at that level, or are we all just kind of wishful thinking like we're
projecting because we need it?
We need somebody to emerge to help out this group. I don't know. Defensively, I really like the young guys. I think the defensive line has a chance to
be significantly better.
We know they play with depth all the time. They'll play 10 guys, and you might have a pretty solid 10-man rotation. And if a couple of those rookies start, being Peter Woods is a problem, and R. Mason's a problem. Ooh, look out, because that'll help that entire crew. And then you have Chris and George and everybody else that's chipping in. I know they like to play with depth, and it looks like they have pretty good depth. And if Felix gives you anything, if Felix gives you anything from what he has, and he's part of the rotation, I'll say give you anything by being a part of the rotation, that group would go a long way to making this defense solid, because that back end, too, is where I have a lot of questions. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, Kling, I think when you look at the front of this defense versus in the past when they relied on the secondary to give the pass rushers more time, feels like they're going to need to rely on the pass rushers to help out Mansour Delane, to help out Noel Williams or whoever else is going to be, Christian Fulton, whoever else is going to be back there.
Yeah, and Mansour Delane, first time we saw him today without the yellow jersey on, so he's done little to nothing, and then hasn't had contact since college, right? So that's a question mark. Noel Williams, they finally kind of gave him a little more at the end of the year, but we know that took a little more time. You're replacing two really good corners. I don't know if you've upgraded this. You've changed the safeties. We don't know if they've upgraded anything at safety right now. So I think the secondary is very much a question too. I think you got a lot of bodies competing for a lot of playing time. And if the guys up front do their job, Alex, back to that. If they do their job, that's going to certainly take some pressure off the secondary. If they don't, I do have questions of youth and inexperience back in the secondary. Aside from Aloy Gilman, but. Was he brought in here to be a Tyrann Mathieu,
leader?
Yeah, that type of thing. I don't know that he necessarily. If you can just count on that happening all the time, like you just keep bringing in Justin Reed and Tyrann Mathieu, and then bringing another guy who's going to do the same thing. I have questions a little bit.
Unlike the wide receivers, though, at least I got history on their side. Like, I'll give Merritt and Spags.
Oh, good grief, yes.
All the leeway in the world to think that will work, just because. They've earned that privilege versus the wide receivers, who every single year, they have run back. This is 2 times in a row. It's not the same wide receivers. 4 years ago, they ran back the same wide receiver unit, and it didn't work for year 3. Then this year, they're essentially bringing it back again. They've done this twice now in the last 4 years where they're like, no. The talent's good. It just hasn't all been here at the same time or worked at the same time. I'm like, okay, but be wrong again. And you did this once when you brought back Hollywood and everyone else, and you tried to make it work a second year in a row and it didn't. Now you're doing it again, where it's Rice and it's Worthy and Kelsey, and it is the same people. So the question is, can it work? Unless, again, Cyrus Allen is much, much better.
And then Thornton is maybe more of a piece for the entire season.
Yeah, maybe actually use him.
Those types of things. I think if everybody's healthy, knock on wood, everybody's healthy and plays to their potential, it's going to be a pretty decent wide receiver group. Right now, to me, it's just a lot of, it's a lot of guessing at this point. Can they be this, and this? Because we haven't seen it, and we certainly haven't seen, even in camp, like all those parts together at the same time. They've all been kind of off in the tent at different times, nursing whatever injuries, and so you haven't even seen the full complement yet.
Josh Klingler, you guys are going to hear him Saturday with Mitch and Danon on the broadcast for the Chiefs Radio Network. 3 o'clock kickoff. Pregame starts at 2 o'clock on 96.5 The Fan. Kling, good to see you, man.
Thanks for the quiz there. 2 o'clock. I got to tell me what time to be at this. Be at the stadium.
Exactly.
Yeah, 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock Saturday in August.
How about that?
At Arrowhead. I mean, let's all go cook together.
Our training camp coverage is presented by Break Time. Whether fueling up or grabbing a snack on the way to training camp, Break Time reminds you not all convenience stores are the same. Download their app and find a location near you. Coming up next, Nate Taylor from ESPN going to stop by. We'll also update you on what Andy Reid had to say, including confirmation on what we expected for who's not playing Saturday afternoon.
You're listening to Cody and Gold.
We're going to try to tickle your tonsils.
Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
Red 80 on Football season is just around the corner, and just like your favorite team, you've got to fuel up to perform. At Break Time, we've got your training camp essentials, ice-cold drinks, protein-packed snacks, and all your game day favorites. Whether you're hitting the field or cheering from the sidelines, teamwork starts with the right fuel. Let's go! One team, one goal! Swing by Break Time, your home team for snacks, drinks, and everything in between. Download our mobile app and find a location near you. We're proud to be Missouri made.
Men, when addressing the problem of erectile dysfunction, you want the right treatment for your specific medical situation, because every case is different, and finding the right treatment can mean the difference between just an okay experience and an amazing one. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and at our practices, we offer the full range of ED treatment protocols and can even combine therapies to help make those intimate moments special, both for you and your partner. At Heartland Men's Health, we take great pride in providing excellent care and treatment options for ED. Our medical providers specialize in men's sexual health and understand that no two cases are alike, which means you'll get the right treatment for you based on sound medical evaluation and appropriate applications of medical therapies. Plus, we offer treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases, which means if you're like most men, you'll get your sex life back. So call us. Your initial visit is just $99. It includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. We have 3 offices, Overland Park, Independence, and North Kansas City.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back for buying gas. That's right. You can earn cash back with Upside just for buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside, and just last year, I made nearly $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get cash back? If you like extra cash, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back when you fill your tank. Use promo code FRESH to get an extra 35 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code FRESH for a 35 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code FRESH for a 35 cents per gallon bonus.
Someone had a birthday.
Yep, 50. Can't believe it.
50 years of wisdom.
Great segue. We have a health reminder from the CDC.
Pneumococcal vaccination is recommended for adults 50 or older. Says here, we're over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50.
I don't love those odds.
Same. Look what I found. Pfizer's Prevnar 20 is proven to help protect adults against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease in just 1 dose. And millions have already gotten it.
Continued approval may depend on a supportive study.
Don't get Prevnar 20 if you have a severe allergy to its ingredients. A weakened immune system may lower your response. Common side effects include injection site pain and swelling, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138. Visit Prevnar20.com or talk to your doctor or pharmacist.
I'm on Prevnar20.com now, scheduling my appointment.
Good idea. And happy 50th.
Chiefs Kingdom. It's hot as hell, which can only mean one thing. We're putting Cody and Gold in an outdoor tent. No water, no more snow cones. But you get to listen from an air-conditioned car or the comfort of your office. Cody and Gold are live from the practice field at Chiefs training camp all summer long. Real-time updates and one-on-one player interviews. This is your home for Chiefs football. 96.5, The Fan. Cody and Gold are live from the practice field at Chiefs training camp this summer on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan, KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
11 o'clock hour here on Cody and Gold. Early practice today, wrapping up with game day coming up on Saturday. No pads, they're off tomorrow. We figured that would move around the timing of everything. Nate Taylor from ESPN going to join us here in just a second. Don't forget, our training camp coverage is presented by Yingling Flight. Football season starts here. Reach for Yingling Flight, the next generation of light beer. Enjoy responsibly. Thanks to Nico Remigio. We pulled our best card of camp. Best card of camp, Nico. That was his pack there. Actually, Cody, it might have been your pack technically. I don't remember, but
it was mine. But I saw color and I just decided I'd wait on it.
Jaden Daniels out of 25 on card auto, not bad at all. So thanks to Nico Remigio and our friends over at the Art of Sports for providing us some packs. So now we still got packs the rest of camp. I don't know if we're guaranteed another auto, but that was a strong pack of numbered cards. Including a Barry Sanders one. Nate into the card game as well. He was keeping an eye. I was worried Nate.
For coming on with us, should we give Nate the Barry Sanders card? He's a big Barry Sanders guy.
You want the
Barry Sanders card, Nate?
Give Nate the Barry Sanders.
Sure.
For you and your boy?
Yeah.
I mean, give it to
you guys
look
at the card. Yeah,
look
give it to your son.
Look at that. Legends of the Gridiron.
And then you show him some highlights. How Barry used to do it.
I have. I made him watch long stretches of the Barry Sanders documentary. I believe it was through Amazon Prime.
Nice.
Incredible player. I mean, just you want to talk about a running back carrying a team for a decade. Just amazing. But no, my son has been to the Art of Sports several times, and my bank account reflects that. He'll be interested. You know, Hayden's in school right now, or he should be in school. He's a fifth grader, so no, he'll be thrilled with this because he knows Barry Sanders, and I've already got a child who wants to play running back.
Oh,
yeah.
Did he be coaching him up?
He has, I think he's torn between maybe, going out for receiver or running back when the time comes in like that, 8th grade, 9th grade usual. But yeah, he loves Barry Sanders, and he likes creating the players on Madden mostly to be running backs. So
we'll buy up a bunch of product, and the three of us can do one special edition 96.5 The Fan break.
Yeah. Somebody pulled that Cooper flag though. That 101.
Yeah,
Tops update.
I know.
He was very aware of that because that has been the new, dream card, and so it's finally been
somebody in Rhode Island, or a breaker from Rhode Island, I should say.
Wow.
And then we didn't win the Powerball either. Somebody in Illinois won that yesterday. So the dreams are just getting crushed, That's
unfair to us. Look at us. We're out here. We're grinding. We're grinders.
By the way, our conversations with Nate Taylor are brought to you by Ready Services, keeping Kansas City comfortable for over 65 years with honest plumbing, drain cleaning, and HVAC service. Visit ReadyServices.com. All right, today it was a light practice. We knew that was going to happen. Andy Reid spoke. No surprise, Patrick Mahomes not playing Saturday. That was confirmed.
Yes,
officially.
Finally.
What else caught your attention? We didn't have a chance to hear from. There were some technical problems. So anything else from Andy today that caught your attention?
He's being, he did us a favor. He says, look, Pat's not going to start, not going to play. It's like, thank you, Coach. We don't have to do this whole dog and pony show for the next 36 hours. But he was pretty coy about how many of the starters would play and how many wouldn't, right? So in my mind, as an educated, interpretation of what he said in the tent, I'm not sure we're going to see Rashee Rice or Xavier Worthy. That puts Tyquan Thornton kind of in the mix to be out there for I don't know, 2 series. I think you're going to see a lot of Cyrus Allen. So he's a guy that you want to circle for Saturday afternoon against the Rams. It appears that Justin Fields may get 2 drives, 2 series, see how it goes. You know, coach likes to reward the opener. Hey, if you go down the field and you score a touchdown, get off the field, right?
You did it.
We can't do anything better than that. So if you're Justin Fields, use your legs, get into a rhythm early. Hopefully you score a touchdown against, I don't know, the Rams' seconds or their third-team defense, whatever Sean McVay wants to do. And then we're going to see a lot, I believe, of Garrett Nussmeier. You want to see Nussmeier, ladies and gentlemen, because throughout this entire process, since the Chiefs have drafted him, and thankfully he's been healthy, that man is not afraid. There's been no point where he's not been afraid to put the ball in between defenders, to test windows, to give his guys, quote unquote, a chance. And so I'm excited to see Nussmeier, most likely, based on what we can glean today from Andy Reid, most of the second quarter, hopefully all of the third quarter, and then he'll hand it off to Chris Oladokun for the fourth quarter. That's mostly what I could glean. Chris Jones was very deliberate in telling us, I don't want to be out here. Please don't play me, coach. Come on now. No, don't do it to me. He's like, we asked him, like, hey, what are the benefits of playing in the preseason? What are the Alex laughed immediately. What are the benefits? You've been in the league. You're going in the Hall of Fame. What are the benefits? At least he wasn't as blunt as like Aaron Rodgers was a couple days ago, where he's like, the preseason is meaningless to me.
Right.
But Chris basically said the issue for me is I don't get to play the Rams starting offensive line.
Yeah. So what good is it?
So what's the point?
Yeah.
I can't get anything from that. He's like, it would be nice to hit someone, but Chris Jones is advocating already to just have the earpiece in, hear the play calls, give out some tips to the young guys who are out there for the first time in an NFL stadium, competing for the future of their careers. But I agree that he doesn't need to be out there on Saturday.
I wish we just had an alternate stream, just Chris Jones mic'd up on the sideline the whole game while he's watching.
This
his
is definitely the
teammates.
one where Clark starts talking in the second quarter.
Yeah.
Well,
they'll
bring
half.
in Mark Donovan as well.
Yeah.
Talk about the new building.
Of course.
Yep.
Talk about some of the plans.
Talk about removing GHA and why they're honoring the Arrowhead legacy, all that kind of stuff.
Nate, do you think I'm 100% right? I am convinced they will call it they'll call it New Arrowhead, and then after 2 years they'll just drop the new. They won't say anything about it. It'll be quietly into the night.
Yes.
Or they'll call it the Arrowhead Sports Complex.
Ooh.
And they'll give the field a name, but they'll call the area in which the stadium is this is the Arrowhead Sports Complex.
Presented by,
like whatever.
Presented by,
What's
a Kansas-based company?
Garmin?
Sure.
Garmin's a good answer.
Give it to Garmin.
That's a good answer.
Sure.
The Garmin Sports Complex?
Ooh. There's already one of those, right? But,
true. I'm sure they're happy to.
We can rip that off. Stick it on here.
Well, I
think the best part in this is, not to be super nostalgic, but there's another documentary that I'll mention called The Captain. It's the Derek Jeter documentary. It's presented by yours truly at ESPN. If you want to check that out on ESPN Plus,
Cody hates Derek Jeter, Nate. I don't think he will.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a shame.
I heard Nate's just handing out free subscriptions to us.
Yeah,
now. He's an ESPN guy.
Look, it ain't cheap. I'll tell you that.
I know. My kid wants to watch FC Barcelona. They're on ESPN Plus. We're gonna have to pop.
I mean, it's not cheap. Even I know that. So thank you on behalf of me.
Can I get that login name, or what's up?
Of course. I mean, sure. I think it works on multiple devices. No one's hearing this, right? In Bristol, right? They can't get that frequency up here.
That's right.
But there's a moment in that documentary where they gave the microphone to the last living legend who, was a part of Yankee Stadium, and that was, of course, Derek Jeter, saying, thank you so much. And the building's right over there. And guess who's going to get the microphone when we open that one? This guy. And so Patrick Mahomes will close Arrowhead, and he will open the new Arrowhead. It should be called, just like it is in the Bronx, that's the new Yankee Stadium.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what they called it.
It says Yankee Stadium. It don't need to be nothing else. Now, I agree it can be presented by Garmin or whoever wants to get involved, but that should be the new Arrowhead Stadium, especially because the design is an exact homage to the building as it's being renovated or modernized for a state-of-the-art facility so that Arrowhead, for the first time, regardless of the iteration, can host the Super Bowl in 2034, 2035, whichever year you want to pick.
So you and I know that there's a difference between internet speculation and people who sit around here. One of the internet speculations of the week is that Rashee Rice is overweight. Do you think Rashee Rice is overweight?
Guys.
And this isn't the AI-generated Travis Kelce.
I know. I would phrase it differently from a expertise standpoint.
He's not in football shape yet, is what you would say?
Thank you.
Okay.
Because,
and that's fair because coming off a knee.
Because players can play at various weights. That's not the issue. It's whether or not what weight you are at is conducive for you to be in football shape to maximize your talent and abilities. Guys, I think Patrick Mahomes can still throw the ball well if he gains another 15 pounds, right? I still think Travis Kelce can get open and make a guy miss if he gains 15 pounds between now and opening night. The issue is how does that help you over the course of the long haul of the season, right?
So keep your body up.
Correct. And that's part of the strength and conditioning aspect of it and the nutrition. And the Chiefs have their own dietitians and nutritionists. And so,
but he's playing a little bigger right now.
You could say that, but again, it's August, whatever. It's August, 13th?
He could be down 2 pounds just from being out today and
yesterday.
Exactly.
I'm not worried about it. I mean, even if you played at 220.
He's not walking in here like he was Deebo Samuel from a year or two ago at the Commanders camp where that dude was way overweight.
Correct. And they're not, and I will tell you this, from what I can glean and my understanding of how his progress has gone, it's not like they're asking him to do anything extra or additional after practice in terms of conditioning or they always say
they're not putting him through the ringer for a guy that they're worried about didn't show up in shape.
No, and so he has a while to get in peak, performance, peak, physical condition, I would say. And if he's not going to play in the preseason if he's not going to play in the opener on Saturday, I do think it would be educational and instructive for him to play at least against the Buccaneers or that final preseason game against the Seahawks so that he just has, again, you just get more data, more information about how your knee is responding. You're out there. You want to go through – you don't want everything to feel like so brand new when it's opening night against a very good defense in the Denver Broncos, and that's one of the reasons
good corners.
And why Andy Reid wants guys to play in the preseason so that, again, you are prepared for that extra gear that you have to play at. But I'm not worried about Rashee Rice at all in terms of his weight. I just want him to feel like he's confident in the knee, he can cut, he can show explosiveness, and he's not taking steps back in terms of his route running. Because if your knee is bothering you, or if it's laboring, or if it's just going to be an issue all year long between the swelling and the –
you try to set early.
Yeah, and again, you can – that can impact your technique more than the weight can sort of impact your overall play.
How big of a deal Mansour Delane out of the yellow jersey finally? I feel like it was one of those
pads today.
Sometimes it's like they're just playing the game.
Of course they are.
And it's just like they know that he won't practice, barely have to practice today, doesn't have to practice tomorrow, doesn't have to practice on Saturday.
Not going to play on Saturday.
Doesn't have to play on doesn't have to practice on Sunday.
Yeah.
So like the earliest, they put him in a white jersey, the earliest he has to get back on practice field is Monday.
They did us a favor. They threw us a bone. They said, look, this practice is going to be light.
But look, no yellow.
Hey, you got something. Now, look,
better than being in the yellow.
Of course, Alex and Cody now have something to talk about. He's not in a yellow jersey. Now, when they in the pads and it's real on Monday, okay, wake me up. Because it's going to be real on Monday. Andy likes to beat the you-know-what out of them after they just played another opponent. On Saturday afternoon, it'll be Monday morning. They'll be right back in pads, and he'll go real. That'll be a real one, kids. And so if he's in a white jersey on Monday, okay, now I'm willing to talk. But today was, as Steve Spagnuolo says, today was a glorified pajama practice. This was a
walkthrough.
Thank you. This was a up-tempo walkthrough, and make sure you know all the plays. These are all the base installs. All right, we're gonna call this on Saturday now. So just know your assignment. Be sound. Don't hit nobody. Obviously, we're going to protect your body. But, hey, it wasn't like we didn't give you the script for you to go out there and do your best on Saturday.
Other than Cyrus Allen, Saturday afternoon at Arrowhead, who's the player you're most interested in watching get some real snaps, or as real as they can be on Saturday?
I really want – and now Peter Woods is dealing with an ankle, so I don't know if he's going to play or not. or if they're going to say, hey, maybe he gets a series, maybe he gets 2. But, again, someone you should circle. I got to say, man, Jake Briningstool, this is it, kid.
Okay.
This is it. Put it on tape, man. Put it on tape. Again, as I said earlier, Garrett Nussmeier not going to be afraid to put it in the, give you a seam ball where you get to go get it over a linebacker. So, hey, man, let's see it, right? Let's see you set that edge, for –
that might be more important than the catch part.
Correct, for DeMarcado or for Brashard Smith. Let's see it. I think in terms of punt return, okay, they probably going to put Cyrus Allen out there. So how much can he do from a punt return, kickoff return standpoint? We know we're going to see Nico probably for maybe 1, at the most, I would guess 2 in terms of kickoff returns. I'm going down the list. There's a guy, I think this is the updated roster. Ladies and gentlemen, you ain't heard this man's name
yet,
and you ain't have no reason to hear this man's name.
Okay.
I don't even know this man's name. I'm looking at it right now. I got the sheet in front of me. Number 54, Ethan Hurkett.
Who?
What?
Ethan Hurkett.
Legit.
I've been out of camp 3 weeks.
54.
Okay.
Now, think about this. 6'3", 259.
That's a big man.
He
That's
is
like Leo size.
Here we go. He's 24 from Iowa. Cedar Rapids, Iowa. I'm sure all the family coming down to the stadium. That man, over the last few days, has put in, when they were in pass, not today, ladies and gentlemen, but number 54 put in some work on them one-on-one drills, and I think he's also a tweener. I'm just saying.
Is this a 50% of the game, though, for Khalil Benson at right tackle?
Ooh, good
don't
question.
you want to
Yes.
get him like half of
but
the damn game at right tackle?
But the problem with that is, to Chris Jones's point, I have no idea who the
I know, but like
Rams
he's an
are gonna
undrafted
present.
free agent rookie.
But they know he
any
can play
snapper
against
right tackle's a good snapper right tackle, I think, for him.
But they know he can play against another undrafted guy.
Yeah, yes, but
I mean,
I think it's just a reps thing, a live game reps thing.
it's a fair question to ask. He will probably start out at right guard because Trey Smith hasn't practiced all
That's
week.
fine. I want him there too.
And then when Justin Fields goes off the field and they bring in Garrett Nussmeier, he'll probably kick out, I would imagine, to right tackle.
Let Caliendo or somebody else handle the right cards.
Yeah, so I'm imagining that's the case. That's a good point, Cody. Let me say his name again, guys.
Hurkett?
Number 54, Ethan Hurkett.
Are you sure you're pronouncing it right?
Nope.
I'm assuming this guy's trolling on the text line, trolling Nate and everybody. He says, how have you guys never heard of him? I'm assuming that's a troll text because there's no way.
He covers the team for a living.
If Nate doesn't know that player's name, there's no way anybody else. You're a maybe Logan Weber, who's a diehard Iowa fan. Maybe he knows who he is.
Yeah. I understand what the text line is saying, but I told you his name, which means he's jumped to he's there's 90 guys. I can't. It's hard to invest in the fours, right? But I got an eye on Ethan.
Okay.
I got an eye on Ethan. Number 29, Xavier Nwapa.
That's the guy that nailed Emmett Johnson on the tackle. He's from Iowa as well. Another Iowa guy.
I'm just saying, those are the two guys.
I like the Iowa boys.
If you're a degenerate, if you're a sicko, if you're a I'm not getting off I'm not getting off this couch in the second half. These are the guys that I would circle. Because it's so hard to know what anything's going to come of these guys. But, hey, Ethan's got my eye for that practice squad, young man. I mean,
good for him.
He was doing something. They say he's a D lineman. He's a little tweenerish. Spags, move him around. Put him at the Sam. Let's see what happens, with him. I gave you Jake Briningstool. I think he's the most significant guy who could make the roster, who could give you legitimate snaps in the regular season. I wrote about Andrew Armstrong a few days ago. He's in a battle with Jalen Royals. Jalen Royals, I've been asking for it. He has at least shown up the last two practices.
Yesterday,
he's had a better practice.
Padded practices. So you know what, young man? I see you trending in the right direction. Let's see it happen. If I was Justin Fields, I would say, look, I don't care what the coverage is. I need you to throw to 13 and 11 constantly. And if we put 88 on the field, you might want to involve him too. Don't get Tyquan hurt. Actually, take Tyquan off the field. But they do need to evaluate 85 and 11, and so Saturday will be the first day to do that.
It's just, I don't know, this part. And look, training camp, preseason game number 1. I'm not saying it says everything, Nate. I'm not saying it says everything, but at the same time, it's got to be saying something. People are still going. Someone says
it's not. Said they know who that player is. Good for there. You go.
I hope it's a family.
Look, you're in deep.
Or you're an Iowa
top
fan.
25 in the country in sacks last year. He had 8 of them. He had more than R. Mason Thomas.
Are you saying you knew he was at practice?
I'm just telling you, he had more sacks
saying.
than R. Mason Thomas last year.
You know what? I might not know his name, but 54 jumping off the field, kids. I mean, look, you
brought him up unprompted.
You asked me a name, I gave you a name.
You did.
Mr. Ethan, all right? Now, look, he got a little Leo Chenal to him. So, I mean, Leo Chenal was a maniac in college.
Same number, Nate.
I know. Oh, I know. Don't you know it? He got a nice spin move. I think I mean, look, man, he got a nice spin move. He been showing out. 54. Come on,
all right.
now.
We'll be now. Everybody will be actually keeping an eye out for 54 on Saturday afternoon.
You get a choice, Nate. You can either be gone out of the heat, or you can stick around for Trash of the Day and find out what weird thing Alex has to tell us today.
No break either. It's right now.
Oh, let's do it.
All right, let's get to it.
Trash of the day.
All right, we go to Sacramento County.
Okay.
Deputies witness a reportedly stolen car being driven by a gentleman who was leaving a McDonald's. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right, stolen car.
Been there before.
Yeah. According to deputies, here's where it was interesting. As they stopped him, eventually they take him into custody. Not only was it a stolen vehicle, he was driving a stolen car while on probation, driving to the probation office.
Unreal.
So he stops at McDonald's, says, "I'm gonna stolen car. I'm gonna go get a Mcchicken."
Hey, bro, I'm hungry.
And get to the probation office, and
wow,
while
I'm running errands and it's stolen too.
Stolen vehicle.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And he got pulled over.
He was booked into Sacramento County Main Jail.
Okay.
He was. They learned he was headed to the probation office to check in with his probation officer in a stolen car.
He
was on probation for, you guessed it, multiple vehicle thefts, stolen vehicle-related convictions, and grand theft auto.
Hey, y'all asked me to be there on time. This is the way I can be there on time.
I don't have my own wheels. I've made that very clear through the legal system.
Right. You know, Uber wasn't really working out for me, and I was also kind of hungry. I would love to know, like, how he got spotted. I'm assuming it's a he. Is that correct?
Yes.
Because no woman would do that. Women are too smart to do the dumb stuff.
It was a
that we do.
35-year-old named Joshua.
Oh, Joshua. I'm sure that McGriddle hit, my guy. I'm sure it was hit.
Better.
And then they pulled you over on some you-know-what.
I stopped for a McChicken yesterday on the way home from camp. I get it.
Hey, man.
I wasn't in a stolen car.
Right. Now, Josh, if this is you, I'm going to have to ask you, how good at you at stealing cars to where not only you getting caught multiple times, but you can't even get from A to B in it? Hey, bro, you.
That's the Shawshank line when he's telling the young kid, he's like, maybe you should get a new profession. He's like, doesn't seem like you're all that good at being a thief. He's like, I've served in jail here. He's like, I need time for a new line of work.
I think that's where we're headed. Hey, son, let's sit you down. Now you're 35, still a lot of life in front of you.
Maybe a different kind of crime at least.
I think we should go white collar from here on out because you in this blue collar, it's too risky. It's too much. I mean.
You're getting caught a little too often.
Yeah, now, I will say probation officers will tell you, hey, I need to see you in front. But we also live in a world, and I'm not, caping up for this young man in general, but, like, we are in a world where, like, hey, we got Zoom. We got FaceTime. I got to be there.
Well, we've had a trash day before where this woman was having a court hearing on Zoom while she was in her vehicle driving, but she was having a court hearing for a suspended license. So that was a problem. And then she tried to lie to the judge that she wasn't driving. And he's like, get out of the car then. She's like, I'm on the passenger side. He's like, no, you're not. And there's the whole thing.
You can see the wheel.
You can see the wheel in front of her and everything.
Your point's taken. I take back everything I said. We do need you to come downtown, but we would prefer you do it. You ain't got a family. You ain't got a family member. You ain't got a friend. You ain't got a buddy. Hey, it's at this time. I just need to be dropped off real quick.
At the very least, you got to hit the bus.
And by the way, can you pull up to McDonald's? I mean, I gotta get me a McGriddle. I'm not gonna act right.
To the probation office, you can't break the law on the way to probation. Now, look, in fairness, we just had this She Ride story this year, but
wow.
Or you're like, they wouldn't dare think I would do such a thing, which is exactly why I should do such things.
They'll never see this one coming.
Guys, I might have to text. I mean, I don't know how old Briscoe is, but Josh, 35, we're supposed to have him on tomorrow. I might have to text. I'm going to have to find out if
that's true.
Is this Josh Briscoe?
He's younger than me. He probably is like 35.
Is he where's my friend's whereabouts? He ain't in Sacramento, right?
I'm going to have to make sure. I'm going to make sure he's okay.
The history of Grand Theft Auto. Who knew?
I don't know.
I mean, son, Are you just making it patently obvious that when you steal these cars are stolen?
Someone says on the text line, I run a probation office. You'd be shocked at the bleep we see. I'm sure. I'm sure.
I'm sure as well.
What's the most irresponsible thing you've done in a car? Gold, just speed?
Yeah.
I used to have a high school teacher who'd let me borrow her car to go run errands.
Ooh.
No, I think the most.
You know how bad of a decision that is, Nate?
Terrible.
Cody,
high school teacher?
Yeah, speeding, or as we just had Kling on,
She
he
was
would tell
not
you.
cared about that car at all.
When I was an intern, Kling would say, when I was an intern, I, at the time, did not have, I never had a car growing up.
That's
so
right.
I didn't have my license or whatever. Anyway,
Yeah.
but Fesco was stuck in his neighborhood at the time because there was this bloody naked man that tried to break in their house. There's a whole story. He's told the show before. Anyway, so Kling's like, hey, take my car, go pick up Fesco. This was back in a long time ago. And I had to drive Kling's car without a license to go pick up Bob.
You didn't say anything.
I didn't say anything at the time.
You got to do it. Intern, man.
Of course not.
I need to protect the internship.
My job is on the line. You know, there's nothing when you're a young person who's just like, look, if I just get through today, I get another day.
Real quick, and then we'll let Nate go. You'll appreciate this text. Someone says, if it was Josh Briscoe, they would have recovered the car playing Childish Gambino or some hipster band.
Hey, I've actually sang Childish Gambino tunes with Josh Briscoe.
I bet.
In front of Childish Gambino.
There you go.
Yeah, we go to concerts together. I still need him to come with me to the upcoming J. Cole concert.
Yeah, T-Mobile. We were telling Drew. That's Drew's guy, too. I was telling Drew. You can get tickets
there,
still
Drew?
next Wednesday at T-Mobile.
I do not have tickets right now, but I love me some J. Cole.
Oh, man. Come
He said
on,
it's his
dog.
number one guy. I said you got to go out and see him.
He's not my number one, but I love J. Cole.
Yeah, of course. I love him, too. But yeah,
What's your favorite song?
I'm going to be out there right now.
From J. Cole.
That's a good question.
Drew, same thing for
03
you.
Adolescence.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I like 39 Intro off the new album.
That one's the best one.
Unbelievable.
All right, we got to get Drew to this concert next week.
Yeah, somebody.
We got to get Drew to this concert next Wednesday night at T-Mobile.
Yeah. My wife's coming, so if Drew wants to.
You guys can do a couples thing.
That's
you
what
know,
I'm saying.
Drew can take his
That's what
wife
I'm
as
saying,
well.
yeah,
Do a little couples thing.
Come on.
Nate Taylor, ESPN. Appreciate it, man.
Of
Always good
course.
to see you. All right, guys.
See you next week.
Up next. Yeah, thanks for
Sadly.
coming on. Next Monday. Up next, let's get to
Three
the
more.
Chiefs Red half hour here on 96.5 The Fan.
What's up, KC? It's Carter Jensen. You're listening to Cody and Gold on your home for Royals baseball, 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com. 96.5 The Fan.
Danon Hughes here. I've seen a lot of stat lines in my playing days, but these numbers, they caught my attention. Flight by Yingling, 2.6 carbs, 95 calories, and all the crisp, refreshing flavor you want in a light beer. It's brewed by the oldest brewery in America, so you know it's got some serious history behind it. If you're into stats and taste, you're gonna love this beer. Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer and the official beer of Danon Hughes. DG Yingling & Son, Pottsville, Pennsylvania.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
And Doug.
Limu and I created a trick to help you remember that you can customize your car insurance and save with Liberty Mutual. You see, the shirts Limu and I wear are yellow, and yellow is the color of lemons, and lemons grow on trees, and trees provide oxygen, and oxygen helps us breathe, and breathing is how you live, and you can live more life when you save money by customizing your car insurance. I agree, Limu. It's really quite simple. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
When your joints hurt every single day and you've been told you need surgery, it can feel like there's only one option left. But please, do your homework. Remember, once a joint is replaced, there's no going back. Hey, it's Bob Fesco. Before you schedule that surgery, consider getting a second opinion from QC Kinetics. Whether you're dealing with the pain of bone-on-bone arthritis, a torn meniscus, or just years of wear and tear, surgery isn't the only conversation you should have. Talk to QC Kinetics about how they use regenerative treatments to deliver real relief to patients right here in Kansas City. They concentrate tiny healing tools from within your own body targeting the exact spot that's causing the pain. The whole idea is to give you a real shot at holding off surgery or in some cases avoiding it altogether. So get your free consultation at QC Kinetics now, 816-412-6299. That's 816-412-6299. Located at 435 in State Line and in Gladstone, 816-412-6299.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
We asked parents to share their journey of adopting teens.
They changed who I am because I can't see life without them in it.
Visit adoptuskids.org to learn more. Brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/team. That's ZipRecruiter.com/team.
ZipRecruiter.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Hey, it's Evan Johnson from the Kansas City Chiefs, and welcome into the Chiefs Red Half Hour every day at 11:30 on Cody and Gold on your home for Chiefs football, 96.5 The Fan.
It is the Chiefs Red Half Hour as we continue broadcasting live here in St. Joe. It's presented by Yuengling Flight. Football season starts here. Reach for Yuengling Flight, the next generation of light beer. Enjoy responsibly. Thanks again to Nate Taylor for hanging out with us. Gave us a couple names off the radar to watch for on Saturday when the Chiefs take on.
I can't believe you guys didn't hear of Ethan. Goodness.
No.
Wow.
No, I know. Shocking. But maybe we will.
I can't know every player in college football. There's like 4,000 players.
That might be, and he had to look at the roster sheet too. That might be a name after Saturday that we know.
Maybe he'll end up on Camp Darling. Oh, we already had our bombshell, though. Sorry. Bad news for him.
Yeah,
Khalil Benson's our one bombshell. We can invite someone back onto the island, but I don't think we're
not going to end up on
with a new player.
Not going to end up on the island or anything like that. What you say, number 54, right? Is that what
Yep.
he said?
He's wearing Leo's old number. Wasn't he 54? Am I wrong?
Yeah. That's what Drew was saying, yep.
Yeah. I was pretty sure he was.
Ethan Herkett.
Plus, we got, earlier in the show.
Big Ten guys,
Yeah. Plus, earlier in the show with Nico Romeo, we got our first awesome pull.
Yeah, nice card.
We've had a couple of good pulls, like the Jalen Hurts one, but the on-card auto for Jaden Daniels, I don't hate that.
What a day for
You almost
it,
can't
too.
make this stuff up.
I mean, the fact that today Jaden Daniels is in the news because he's making a terrible decision to try to sue or at least threaten with a cease and desist letter to LSU because he's mad basically a player was wearing his number or is going to wear his number and that he's treated differently than Joe Burrow. It's a very embarrassing thing for Jaden Daniels. And out of all days, we happen to get our first auto at camp. It's Jaden Daniels. So
was that a 25?
Was that 25? Yeah.
Ooh,
I think
wow.
I'm going to buy. I have we all have, obviously, all three of us have a share in these cards. I want to buy both of you out, though. I told Cody.
Buying us out?
I want the Jaden Daniels card, so I'll buy your two
If
shares
he wins an
out.
MVP, can I
No, once I buy the
profits?
no, once I buy the card, it's mine.
Yeah, it's gold after that.
I'm just saying, if you guys don't want to do that, then that's fine. But otherwise, let me buy your two shares out of it, and then I like to keep the card. And it's an on-card auto. I want
What
that
are we
for
going to
the
do?
PC.
Co-own a card? That's insane.
Yeah, I didn't know, but you might still be like, hey, maybe you said you wanted it or something.
Oh, no, it's okay.
All right,
It's
good.
okay.
Well, then
you collect a lot more than
I'll Venmo you guys
okay.
the last sale price or the average sale price, and we'll get that figured out.
Card show
tomorrow.
style, 90% comp or just full comp? You're just
After
going.
today's story, I don't want nothing with that card. I don't want anything to do with Jane and Daniels after this. That was ridiculous.
Look, the truth is, if he has a great year, it's likely to go up in value just
100%,
because
for sure.
he's
It's
a
a
really
clean-looking
good
card too.
But it's a good auto,
it's a
clean
look-
card.
it's
It was
great.
just fun to pull.
He's got a nice auto, honestly. He's got a nice auto. Let's hear from Chris Jones, though. You heard Nate kind of fill us in a little bit. The theme of what Chris was talking about, which is clearly not really wanting to play in preseason. And if he does, it doesn't want to. It's because he wants to go up against some other starters. Here's what Chris Jones had to say after practice.
We're all dealing with the heat, man. You got to battle through it. And mental toughness. That's where it's created out here. You know, you're going repetition, back-to-back days of practice with pads on. I think it's more so building mental toughness out here, so in the game won't be so effective.
Chris, Pat is going into his 10th year now. You've been here the whole time, along with just two other guys, Travis and James. I guess, what do you remember just about the early days of him taking over and how it's kind of led to what it's led to?
Memory lane. A lot of adversity at first when I got here. And then championships, and then a little more adversity, and hopefully and then championships.
But just Patrick specifically, like how did you feel like that changed initially, just kind of the culture?
We won a championship. That what changed. I mean, anytime you get a good quarterback and able to win with it, I think that changes the dynamic of a team and an organization. So, yeah.
There's a moment a couple days ago after the one-on-ones where you wanted to speak to the offensive lineman and the defensive lineman. I just wonder what led to that decision to make that message, and what was your message to your team?
Can't talk about it.
How important are these days? You talked about it throughout your career about it's easy to talk before camp. It's days like today when you really have to be a leader. How critical are these days for this football team?
I think adversity builds character. I've always been a big believer of that. And, you know, with the heat, with back-to-back days, pads on, and, you know, we're kind of tired of hitting each other. These are the days to battle through it. I mean, later on when you get during the season, week 12 or 13, when your body starts talking to you, mind over matter. And I think that's what we're building right now. We've got a bunch of young guys, a lot of guys out of college. So to hit that wall and continue to push is what we're building right now.
Reps with Tonga. Just what are your thoughts on him now and what he could do for you on early downs this season?
I'm glad he's on our side of the ball. I actually was found the Tumba when they played the Denver Broncos, how he was resetting the line of scrimmage. And, you know, it's lucky how life works, man. It's the cycle of life that we was able to acquire him to our D-line. And, you know, he's a great asset for us. And, you know, we were able to utilize him on first and second down.
Also, your evaluation on Peter Blake, what do you think of him so far this camp, and what has he impressed about?
Strong, a young bull. I think for him, just pulling it all together, he has the skill set. He has the he has the power for it also. He's strong as an ox. But and he's willing to learn. I think a lot of these guys, you know, they're coming from college, being one of the top guys in college, and being humble in yourself and being willing to learn and being a sponge. I think most importantly, that's what he is, and I think he's going to contribute to this defense a lot this year.
Across the league, you see some stars not playing preseason. Andy hasn't said who's going to play other than Patrick's not going to play. But what do you get out of preseason games and just matching up against somebody else?
Why play the starters? I mean, it's so much risk you're taking to play the starters at preseason. I hope Coach Reed be like, you know what, starters don't play. You know, but also it's getting reps, repetition. We've been playing against each other. It's good to get repetition, but I don't want to play preseason. I'd rather not play, but if I do have to play, I'm going to buckle up.
Anybody else?
I was going to say, it's different, too, when you're going against a team that doesn't play its starters.
Yeah, so the mentality is like, I want to play against their starters. You know what I mean? I want to play against, you know, the guys that's going to be starting on Sunday because, you know, you like to weigh yourself out, where I'm at, where I improve, and give me your best talent. So it kind of can change the dynamic, but anytime we get on that field, you got to give your best.
So if there was any doubt from Chris Jones on his thoughts of playing preseason, he got it there. Said, of course, if I'm going to be out there, I'm going to give it my all. But he doesn't want to play in preseason. But his point about, hey, if I'm not even going up against the other team starters, what's the point? I mean, I totally get that, especially for a veteran. It does zero good for Chris Jones to play any snaps in preseason against the number 2 right guard or center of the L.A. Rams. It does nothing for him.
No, it doesn't. And Chris Jones, honestly, he's got enough snaps on his body that if, and Andy doesn't usually do this, but genuinely, if Andy just said, no, let's not do it, then, I mean, why not let the man off the hook? Like, genuinely, why not let him off the hook? I'm not saying everybody. I'm not saying everybody just gets a free pass on it. Jones? Chris Jones, the person you would like to, I don't know, stay healthy for the entire season? That feels like the kind of guy, Gold, I'd probably just go ahead and give maybe not preseason snaps against the Rams' backup defensive lineman, especially because it doesn't help, Gold, that they don't play anybody.
And it's just every coach is going to approach it differently. Mahomes, if he wasn't hurt, he typically, or coming off an injury, I should say, he typically would play a few snaps on Saturday. I just saw the Buffalo Bills, Joe Brady, first-time head coach, announced minutes ago that Josh Allen and other healthy starters will play Saturday in their preseason opener against Carolina. That's the mentality that Andy Reid normally would have and will for a good chunk of the roster. If Mahomes wasn't coming off this injury, Mahomes would be playing a series. Instead, if you missed it earlier, we learned from Andy, he spoke to the media, Justin Fields will get the start, then we'll see some Garrett Nussmeier, and then probably fourth quarter Chris Oladokun.
Yeah, so by fourth quarter, you're probably a little less engaged. I am curious to see Justin Fields. I'm a little curious to see Garrett Nussmeier because he might be the future backup quarterback. But it's going to be hard for me to, look back at 3 preseason games and then at the end of this year be sure that they can finally move off the veteran backup quarterback game or if he's just the next Chris Oladokun. The difference is they spent an actual draft pick on Nussmeier. They didn't spend a draft pick on some of the other younger guys they've had come in. It's been Oladokun for a number of years, but it is at least interesting on there. And I genuinely think less starters are going to play in this preseason than have played in preseasons for Andy Reid in the past. It just feels like it's heading that direction. He normally just straight up says the starters will play a quarter, it'll be this, and he seems like he's not hemming and hawing, but he's being a little more vague and intentional with it. So we might not see Chris Jones or Ken Walker, or I'm worried we're not going to see as many starters in this first preseason game as we're used to.
I think that's right. I think that's right based off of how things have been trending right now. And there's also just some guys that are still maybe not quote-unquote injured long-term, but enough to where they sat out of practice or 2 this week. Even guys that return, as Nate said, a starter in Peter Woods, we all want to see him play, but he's dealing with an ankle injury, so is he going to actually play because he's a little nicked up? Drew Tranquil had been dealing with the back spasms. Why would you play him? Even if he's good enough to practice now? There's a lot of scenarios like that. It's just not worth it. Now, when you have the roster size that you do, this is not like a Week 17 game where you say, hey, you got to play some of them still. You don't have a big enough roster. You got your full camp roster. You literally can sit all your starters if you want.
Yes.
You have enough players to do it. You can't do that in Week 17.
No. But it's also, as part of the offensive line. And I know that that's a group that usually stays in a little bit longer. That's why I said to Nate, I want Khalil Benson to play a quarter at guard or that series at guard and then get some snaps at tackle too. He doesn't have that many NFL snaps. And you're right, it's up against backup linemen for the Los Angeles Rams. Fine. He's an undrafted rookie free agent. I'll take the chances there that he could use a few snaps in order just to see somewhat near NFL speed. Maybe it's not full NFL speed, but it's got to be somewhere at least in that range, I guess, would be my thought. And so, that part of it really makes me think that some of these guys have got to play a little bit. But I'm kind of thinking preseason game number 2, Gold, might be where more of those guys play. But maybe I'm wrong. I will say, we did see that Mansour Delane was out of the yellow jersey. I don't want to make the end of the world about it, but that's better than him being in it. I'm not here to tell you that, he's fine now, all problems solved. But for the first time all training camp, at least he's not in the jersey. Do I think he's going to play on Saturday? Hell no. Is he going to practice early next week in full? 50-50. But at least he's out of the gold jersey, which I was just hoping he'd be ready by preseason game number 3. Weren't you? Just hoping he'd get some reps?
It was surprising today to see him not in the non-contact jersey, and that's a good thing. Yeah, it's a good sign moving forward. The only part that's misleading is what you said, which is hey, it wasn't a padded practice anyway. It was what they call their 10-10-10 practice. It's the lightest practice you'll see at training camp, and so less contact to begin with. Although I mentioned yesterday, I felt like when they were in pads, even though he was wearing the yellow non-contact, he was way more physical with Rashee Rice than he had been at all of camp. And so was maybe testing it a bit more. So I think there's a chance Monday he comes to practice, a tough practice that they're going to have after their game, and he's in pads and he's practicing like everybody else. I think there's a real chance of that happening. Either way, today's a good sign. It makes you feel better about his availability when it really matters, which, of course, is week 1 against Denver on that Monday night game.
Yeah, and I think that's in the end. But I want him to be fully available by that game, you know? I don't want, like, the slow ease in. I don't want the 65% of the snaps. They got decent wide receivers there. Look, I'm lower on Cortland Sutton than some other guys, but I'm not, I don't think he stinks. Plus, Jalen Waddle certainly makes them better and a little more elite, and they got a good offensive line, so usually he's got time to throw over there in Denver, even though they do the quick passing game, and so I don't want to, just go into that game where he's partially available but not totally available, but maybe, I want him to be fully available, the kind of player. He's the 6th overall pick. He's got to be a star. He's got to be one of the 3 best players on defense immediately almost, and certainly by the end of the year, he's got to be one of the 5 best corners in football to justify the pick. He's got the single most pressure on him in the entire draft class, and should, by a pretty wide margin, to be good kind of immediately. Big part of their defensive game plan is he's good, I think. Otherwise, Kling talking about all the corners. That gets a lot sketchier, doesn't it? If Mansour Delane's not good, if all of a sudden we're like, he gets a lot. He
has to be good for them. Has to be.
We'll see which way it goes, I guess, but at least, again, better than the alternative is all I would say on that, and at least we can get a sense of where those things go next. But it's been interesting. You and I, to start the show, though, we were talking a little bit about the offensive line, and we have this offseason a little bit like the Patrick Mahomes stuff, because there's been 2 prevailing themes on the Chiefs that I think the national media has been way off base on. One is that Patrick Mahomes is apparently not elite anymore, or not nearly as good as the other guys, and the other is that the offensive line. Would you like to talk about Dan Orlovsky? Or would you like to talk about Pro Football Focus finally getting something right on the offensive line?
Let's save the Orlovsky stuff for later.
You sound so disappointed in him because it's a joke. Pro Football Focus put out their top 10 offensive lines in the NFL. And this is the first national voice, even if it be an aggregate one, putting together the set that had the Chiefs as the 8th best offensive line. And yeah, that feels about right. They have a potential top 5 left tackle in the league. He's not there yet, but he could be. They have a solid left guard, the league's best center, one of the 5 best right guards in football, and they're not a laughingstock at right tackle. How's that not one of the 10 best offensive lines in football? And why is the prevailing thought, you and I talked about Westwood One or any radio hit you've done, one of the first things people outside the city ask me is, can the offensive line keep Mahomes protected? I'm like, that's like 10th on my worry list.
I think they just watched the last 4 weeks of the season and didn't recognize that they were down to their 3rd-string tackle or their backup right guard in an offense that clearly had no flow to it, given the quarterback situation. It makes no sense. Maybe they are not going to be a top 5 offensive line. Okay, that's more than fair. I don't think that's necessarily going to happen. But if Jalen Moore is average for them, the rest of the offensive line has a chance to be one of the better units in all the football. So, yeah, when I hear a host on another national network, or a national network, I should say they're a bottom 10 offensive line this year, I just think that is so wrong. Like, we have predictions and things like that are wrong all the time, but it just seems like there's a huge lack of knowledge or misconception about this offensive line unit. It's not like an opinion of, if you want to say, oh, there's no chance that the wide receiver, Rashee Rice, is going to have 1,200 yards. Okay, that's fine. But if you're saying an entire position group is a bottom 10 position group, it's not even close to that. You maybe disagree that they have a chance to be a top 5 unit, but bottom 10 in football makes no sense to me. I think Josh Simmons, if he's out there, he has a chance to be one of the best left tackles in football. I think that Kingsley has grown to where he's one of the better left guards. Creed's the best center in football. Trey Smith, the health is his question. So if you want to say you think they're bottom 10 because they won't stay healthy, okay, fine. But nobody goes into a season, at least I don't, when we do projections, assuming all these guys are getting hurt. That's not like if that's not how that works normally. When we pick a Super Bowl champion, nobody says they're my Super Bowl champion as long as their quarterback doesn't get hurt. No kidding. You're making your pick based off of Josh Allen being healthy.
Yeah, we're not talking
Mahomes being healthy. So I get annoyed with some of the stuff that's just way off. You know.
I guess if they had an injury history on the offensive line, Simmons, I told you he's 1 year away from being an injury-prone player, but he's not that yet. because he got hurt his last year of college and he got hurt at the end of the year last year for Kansas City. If he gets hurt again this year, I'll be like, well, the injury bug seemingly finds him. The time he missed last year was personal, not injury. The injury stuff was very late into the season. Trey Smith has had a perfect health record until he missed a handful of games last year. Up until that point, he had started 16 or 17 games. Creed Humphrey doesn't miss time ever. Kingsley hasn't missed time. These aren't players that have historically. Jalen Moore, maybe you could make an argument for because he hasn't been a starter. But again, he doesn't have some long injury history either. He is typically available. Matter of fact, that's why he's been getting so much time for the 49ers before he came here. Is because Trent Williams would get dinged up, and then he'd have to go serve as the left or right tackle for a stretch of time. And so, it's not even that. Like, if everyone had an injury history in the offensive line too, maybe I'd give some credit.
Yeah, somebody texted and said, "Do you not remember Mahomes running for his life throughout the season? They couldn't protect him." Josh Simmons was gone for a month. Then he got hurt. You know what I mean? Like there were injuries on the offensive line that contributed to that. Not to mention,
at that same time, Trey was gone.
So I would say that the injuries are why the offensive line was a problem. And once again, yeah, obviously if they have a bunch of injuries again, it will be an issue. But nobody should be making any sort of projections for teams saying that they think 3 players are getting hurt or 2 players are getting hurt. I don't know anybody that when they do their, hey, I think the Chargers are going to win the division or not win the division, and they make a projection based off of 5 players getting hurt or the Chiefs not having a certain player the entire year. Now, maybe individual projections. Maybe you think, hey, Rashee Rice can't get to 1,100 yards because he's not going to play all year. Or Worthy,
I don't think he's going to 1,100.
Or Worthy can't get to 900 or 800 because you think he's going to miss multiple games. Okay, that's fine. But are you picking the Chiefs' overall offense not being a certain level because you just think that injuries are happening or you just don't think they're any good? I don't know about you, how you do your projections. I don't pick a team assuming they're going to have 4 of their best players get hurt.
Can I say that we don't mention this as a part of it, but it absolutely should be a part of the conversation? Part of the reason the offensive line would also maybe have trouble last year is that no team ever had to...
No run game.
Yeah! They didn't have to respect it in any way. Correct, Gold. That is the correct answer, in the sense that all they ever do was pin their ears back and pretend like they could go try to take Patrick Mahomes' head off for the better part of 17 games, because who on earth would respect their version of it? And so, Kenneth Walker, at the very least, is going to help Mahomes in the offensive line, too. All of these things go into it. But I also just think their offensive line has been grossly underrated.
Look at their schedule, though, on the same list from PFF that we were discussing. So the Broncos were the number 1 offensive line in football heading into the season, according to PFF. And it's hard to argue with that.
And they'll get them twice.
But the Chiefs get that test right away. So the Chiefs' young defensive front is going to go up against the best unit maybe in football. That's a hell of an opportunity right away. Week 2, they play the Colts. The Colts were top 5 on this list. The Chargers are on there at 7, 1 spot ahead of Kansas City. The Chiefs play them twice. The Falcons are inside the top 10. The Chiefs play them. The Bills are inside the top 10. The Chiefs play them. So they will – this is also why it's so important for this defensive front to gain steam pretty quick and get not just Chris Jones and Karlaftis, but Peter Woods acclimated and Tonga. Yeah, and the secondary, depending on where Delane's at, the communication part, as we discussed yesterday, is my bigger question with the secondary is when you have so many new pieces back there, feels like you're in danger zone of having some busted coverage early on in the season.
Yeah, no, it's a real worry, and I don't blame you for being concerned about it. But, they'll be tested right away. You looked it up. They faced the number 1 offensive line twice, the number 4 offensive line, the number 6, 9. They got a good chunk of the offensive line. And, look, they didn't get the ease of – I don't think they got the total ease of schedule you would think for a team who finally didn't win the division and finished second to last in the division. The third-place schedule, not a good year for a third-place schedule. You're not facing the right division in the NFC. Matter of fact, you're facing the worst division you could face in the NFC. Wins are still going to be hard to come by for the Chiefs. They're not going to have a lot of cupcakes on their schedule. Even teams like the Raiders, who were a laughingstock last year, they'll be tougher, you'd think, because we think by the time they face them, maybe Fernando Mendoza will be making or taking snaps for this team.
You excited to watch tonight? Thinking of that, I know what we're going to talk about later on the show. But we got preseason football tonight, not the Chiefs, but there's NFL games on tonight.
There's a handful, aren't there?
Yeah, so here's the games that are going on tonight. And I have not followed every single team's camp about who's playing, but we know some of these rookies are. So Lions, Bengals, Drew's Bengals playing tonight. Packers, Steelers, Colts, Patriots, Chargers, Texans, Cardinals, Raiders. So that's another Carson Beck game. That's obviously a Fernando Mendoza game. I'm assuming he's starting tonight for the Raiders. I would be shocked if it's Kirk Cousins, but maybe I'm off there. And then the Titans and 49ers. I want to see Cam Ward with Carnell Tate, assuming both are playing. So those are the games this evening, and then tomorrow we can talk about what's in store, including the Commanders, who have Jane Daniels in the news, and then the Broncos playing the Falcons tomorrow. But I do want to see what Mendoza looks like in Cam Ward. Those will probably be the two players I'm most intrigued by in the preseason games today. I know the Chargers is a divisional opponent, but is there anybody really in the Chargers you're wanting to see in preseason? Not nobody for me.
No, they're one of those. Their roster is built to a point now where it's like, just put up or shut up, and I'm going to be done having the conversations. That's it for them. Like, really, I mean, if somebody talks themselves into the Chargers next season and they have another 10-win, 11-win season but go nowhere in the playoffs, well, then Justin Herbert is a choke artist, and he doesn't show up in the big games.
And the Colts-Patriots game, Anthony Richardson is starting for the Colts, as we mentioned yesterday, because they're trying to showcase him because they're desperately hoping some team will trade for him.
I don't know who would. What insane team would trade for Anthony Richardson?
No need to. We were talking about J.J. McCarthy yesterday.
He's just going to get cut, or he won't, and you'll get
I
him
think
later.
the games we get here locally, yeah. So Green Bay and Pittsburgh's on NFL Network tonight. That's the early game we get here in KC, and then the late game is Cam Ward and the Titans taking on, I don't know if Brock Purdy's starting, but the 49ers, who are already banged up with like 20 players hurt. That one's a little after 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock tonight. So those are the two NFL Network games today, and then tomorrow we get Tampa, New York Jets, and Saturday we get Cleveland, Chicago, which Deshaun Watson gets the first crack at it. He'll be the starter on Saturday, it sounds like.
Good luck with that. That's sunk cost fallacy on that one.
Yeah.
He isn't even, by the way, the reports at camp is he doesn't even look good. Like, he doesn't even look good at camp. Do you realize how long it's been since Deshaun Watson played, a meaningful amount of snaps in the NFL?
I think if they are going to split here's the problem, though. If you start Shedeur Sanders and he stinks, going to Deshaun after the fact is terrible. You're almost better off start Deshaun, and then you can at least pivot to Shedeur.
Sure.
That's the thing. Like, we can start with Shedeur and then pivot to Deshaun Watson. Not that I think Deshaun's going to look good, but I would understand starting Deshaun, and then you say, okay, we don't think, if you don't think either guy is all that good to begin with, versus trying to pivot then to Shedeur. I don't know.
We have some preseason on tonight, Gold?
Yeah. Why not? The Royals are out west, too. They're off today anyway. So, yeah, absolutely I'm watching. I don't know if I'll watch the first one. I'm more intrigued by the last one just because of Cam Ward and Carnell Tate.
Sure.
All right. Up next, guys, let's get to what's trending. Let's talk about quarterback traits rankings, which are now a thing, and Dan Orlovsky gave us that earlier. We'll address that, plus the camp questions from Drew right here on 96.5 The Fan.
Cody and Gold, brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com. Follow the station on Instagram for ticket giveaways and behind-the-scenes content from the show at The Fan 965.
Man, I should not have tried to handle this car wreck stuff myself.
Why?
Insurance keeps calling. I gotta find a body shop, rental car, doctor's appointments. Now they're asking for a bunch of other things.
Dude, why are you trying to do this yourself?
Call the Car Crash Kings.
That's literally what they do. You worry about getting better. They deal with the insurance, the paperwork, the calls, all of it.
Hurt in a car wreck? Don't do it yourself. Call the Car Crash Kings. It's what we do.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely from advertisements.
Hey, it's Rex here with Rex Buys KC. I get it. Selling your house can sometimes feel overwhelming or scary, right? I've seen it too many times. A homeowner thought they had a deal, only to have the buyer back out at the last minute. That's not how we do business at Rex Buys KC. I'm local, I know Kansas City, and I make sure every deal actually closes like it's supposed to. No hidden fees, no showings, no last-minute surprises, just a fair cash offer and a process you can count on. We buy homes in any condition and judgment-free. So whether your house needs repairs or you just want a fast, hassle-free sale, we can make it happen. If you want certainty, transparency, and someone local who actually delivers, call 816-330-6000 or visit rexbuyskc.com. Rex Buys KC, helping people make smart choices one home at a time. 816-330-6000 or rexbuyskc.com.
Hi, I'm Michaela, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. You found your dream engagement ring. As a jewelry consultant, I recommend to start shopping for your wedding band 6 months before your big day. Don't worry. At Shane Company, we're here to help you find the perfect bands. Our men's and women's bands are crafted to high-quality standards, and it shows in every detail, with a stylish design and comfortable fit. At Shane Company, we'll take care of your engagement ring and wedding bands for life because a friend wants you to say "I do" to your rings again and again. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Men, if your energy is down, your workouts aren't producing results, you're gaining stubborn weight, losing muscle, sleeping poorly, or just not feeling like yourself anymore, it may be more than just aging. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health. Our low T and body composition treatments are designed to help men regain energy, improve focus, sleep better, build lean muscle, reduce unwanted fat, and restore confidence both in and out of the gym. At Heartland Men's Health, we specialize in helping men optimize their health, performance, and vitality. Using personalized medical treatments tailored to your health and goals, many men begin noticing improvements in energy, mental clarity, recovery, motivation, libido, and overall body composition within just a few weeks. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work, PSA and T-test, and a medical consult. And if you start on treatment the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. We have 3 offices: Overland Park, Independence, and North Kansas City.
Featured therapies are compounded and have not been evaluated nor approved by the FDA. Provider prescription required. See website for details.
Is reviewing life insurance on your to-do list? Now's the perfect time to add it. A friend recently told me that securing life insurance sooner rather than later can help you lock in lower rates for years to come. So I bumped this up on my list and got it done. I called SelectQuote and couldn't believe how easy and affordable life insurance is. I'm 40 and got a $500,000 policy for $16 a month. My husband's also 40 and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. Plus, with SelectQuote's same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. Knowing I have this checked off my list feels amazing, but the peace of mind knowing my family is protected feels even better.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-329-1010. That's 1-800-329-1010. Or go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. That's 1-800-329-1010. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
Tune into the Chiefs' first preseason game against the Rams, Saturday, August 15th with pregame at 2 and kickoff at 3. Right here on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan, KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station. What's trending?
Cheddar, mozzarella, Havarti.
Number 1 on What's Trending. We continue broadcasting live from Chiefs camp. Light practice today wrapped up around 10:30 or so. It's what they call their 10-10-10 practice. No pads. They're off tomorrow. Preseason game Saturday, 3 o'clock. Chiefs-Rams right here on 96.5 The Fan. As far as injury news today, on the positive end, for the first time up in St. Joe, even if it wasn't padded, no non-contact jersey today for Mansour Delane. So a step forward, hopefully, for him. Other than that, some of the guys that missed practice yesterday were still getting some work. Bolton and Woods. Omar Lott remains on the PUP list. Andy Reid did say that Justin Fields will start Saturday's preseason game.
Which is fine with me. Didn't want Patrick Mahomes in there anyway, so no one's going to complain about that. Next up on What's Trending, Royals drop the whole series to the Dodgers, losing 4-2 last night. Have the Angels tonight, 8:38 first pitch, 7:38 on deck show for Josh Vernier. Daniel Lynch got his second start as a Royal, 2 innings pitched, 3 earned runs. So far, the transition back to starter has not gone smoothly, but he hasn't started in a number of years. I think maybe we got to wait a little bit longer on that one, but at least still out there on that end.
Elsewhere on What's Trending, we know you got NFL preseason action tonight. We just mentioned it in the last segment. You got a couple games, the ones that'll be on TV here locally on NFL Network, Packers and Steelers. And then the late game will be Titans 49ers. But there's some other games going on. I think we mentioned Titans Niners, and the reason why it's probably on NFL Network. Cam Ward, Carnell Tate, 2 players people are going to want to see. And then the Colts and Patriots are also in action. Chargers, Texans, Cardinals, Raiders. Fernando Mendoza likely to get his first action in the NFL, even if it is a preseason game.
Well, I mean, certainly not of interest. And look, there's nothing else on TV tonight. I might as well put some of that on. Next up on What's Trending, Russell Westbrook retiring after 18 seasons in the NBA. I will, for the life of me, that's got to be one of the biggest what-if teams of all time. They had Russell Westbrook, Kevin Durant, and James Harden, all his young budding superstars, on one roster together and couldn't close the deal on that end. And then eventually, obviously, they all went their separate ways and a bunch of different other things. I saw somebody, Drew, and I guess I'm curious if you feel the same. They put Westbrook in the Damian Lillard category of deserved better as an NBA player for the different teams he went on. I'm not sure if I feel that way about Westbrook or not. I definitely feel that way about Lillard.
I mean, he bounced around enough. I don't know if that's the thing for Damian Lillard as well. You wish that he would have won. I think Russell Westbrook is one of, if not maybe the best point guard ever to not win a title. I mean, I don't know if there's any debate with that. He's going to go down as one of the best point guards of all time. He's the current leader in triple doubles. Probably get passed by Jokic.
Mhm.
But I mean, in terms of what he's done, he's done about everything you could ask for out of an NBA career outside of just winning a title. So.
Lastly, on what's trending, we started earlier in the show talking about this weird Jaden Daniels, Washington Commanders quarterback story where, for those that remember, he went to LSU. He won a Heisman Trophy, right? He reportedly has now sent a cease and desist letter to LSU, does not want them to use his name, image, and likeness anymore. He's mad that they are allowing a player to use his number, and that he thinks his treatment that he gets from LSU is different than the treatment that Joe Burrow gets. And we were discussing, one, it's a terrible look for Jaden Daniels. Also, look, Joe Burrow won a national title there, dude. So that might be part of the reason, other than just the optics being bad. The latest update in the last couple of minutes, Cody, I don't know if you saw this from 104.5 ESPN, is that sources telling them that Daniels' camp now wants LSU to return its copy of the Heisman Trophy, something LSU has no intention of doing. Daniels contacted LSU leadership before fall camp. Lane Kiffin has personally spoken to Daniels. It's just, you're ruining your image over something so stupid. And you have really no legal standing on, hey, you can't give somebody my number. Yes, they can.
He saw Laremy Tunsil got hurt and said, okay, I'm going to shift my focus to other things outside of football.
Remember when everybody was making a big deal about Stephon Diggs wanting to wear Joe Theismann's number 7? That was a thing up in D.C. this week. Yeah, that seems pretty small now. I mean, this is ridiculous. This is embarrassing for a starting quarterback in the NFL. Jaden Daniels, you were awesome your rookie year, dude. Last year you couldn't stay healthy and you weren't good. And it's a big year 3 for you, and you're worrying about this crap?
So stupid. It's a dumb thing. That's what's trending here in Cody Gold. Let's talk about that for just a minute, and then we can talk about Dan Orlovsky.
And we did pull a Jaden Daniels card today.
I know. And we can't figure it out. Alex wants it for his PC, but we can't find any good comps.
There's one comp on eBay for 103.
From a year ago?
Within the last year.
Yeah, within the last
the only
year.
comp on there.
And then I look at these jerks online that ask like absurd prices that we know they'll never get.
Yeah, you can't go by the listed
So we don't
price. You got to go by the sale price, 103.
Oh, man, I don't know if I'm willing to give up my third for 103. I don't know. Maybe I am. I don't actually know what it's worth, is the truth. I need a secondary party. Can we get somebody to scan it into one of those fancier apps?
Yeah, I mean, that's what I use for comps. What, you think I'm ripping you off?
I don't think you're ripping me off.
That's the comp.
I just think the card's worth more than $100.
No, it's what you want it to be worth more than this. I have a bunch of cards I want to be worth more, too. They're not worth.
I don't want it to be worth more. I just don't know.
That's
I'm
the
a
last
rookie
sale
in the game.
That's the last sale.
Yeah, it is. There's no doubt about
Anyway,
that.
Jaden Daniels on the LSU stuff. I mean, just and his mom's the one giving him the advice. It sounds like terrible advice, ruining your son's image over this.
It's so illogical and such a bad decision for a variety of reasons. I don't understand why, at any particular point, somebody would allow him to do this. Why? You're asking him to return the Heisman Trophy because somebody put on a jersey that said 5? We pointed this out. Drew said there's 2 guys on Florida this year that have Tim Tebow's number right now because college sometimes they repeat numbers for the guys who do or don't start.
Offense and defense, yeah.
In between. And so, like, are you serious right now? Like it's, yeah, fine, they treat Joe Burrow slightly different. He won a Heisman too, like you. He also won a national championship. Fine, you feel a little disrespected. But going out, do that behind closed doors. Say that to the AD.
Yeah.
Pull a channel. Do whatever you got to do to be like, hey, I'm a starting NFL quarterback. I won Rookie of the Year. I won a Heisman Trophy for you. I'd prefer somebody didn't wear, but obviously they would promise this kid the number in the recruiting process. Fine, go through the regular channels and be like, hey, this is why we're doing it. We want LSU to stay good, which you'd think that you would. And I've pointed this out. Jaden Daniels spent 2 years at LSU, Gold. 2! That's it. He spent more time at Arizona State. What are we doing here? You're not a 4-year starter.
Again, how it became such a story, is they filed a cease and desist. It wasn't, sounds like it was behind the scenes, and then now they've clearly escalated it to a whole other level, and that's how it became public knowledge. It's weird. I'm actually on LSU's side here. Not, you know what I mean? Normally we're on the player side. I got no issue with how LSU's handling it. A player was promised a number during recruitment. Happens all the time. Happens all the time.
The funniest thing is, what is Lane Kiffin going to tell him? Lane Kiffin did not coach him. Lane Kiffin did not recruit him. Like what did Lane Kiffin say? Hey, man, I'm going to need you to calm down because I know you're one of the best quarterbacks we've ever had, but I don't know what you say if you're Lane Kiffin. He has no relationship with Jaden. There's just no whole...
Well, if you're Lane Kiffin, you just ignore it. You just move on to LSU.
Well, they said he spoke to him. Like I don't know why. Again, this is peanuts, but
it is part of the college game, though. You know this works, right?
It's really weird that he spoke to him about it. But at the same time, this definitely, obviously, I'm in your guys' camp. I don't know who's in Jaden Daniels' camp other than maybe his mom and his agent or his lawyer. That's it. I don't think anybody else is in agreement with what he's doing.
Someone says nobody's wearing Joe Burrow's number. Well, not right now. They're not. He also won a national championship. Sorry, it's handled differently. But my guess is at some point in time, somebody will wear number 9 again at LSU. Tim Tebow's jersey's not retired at Florida. Somebody texted in earlier and said they looked it up that there's 2 players, I think, wearing Tebow's old number at Florida this year for this Florida Gators team.
Yeah, that's what Drew said it earlier.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't make and you talked about this before. Like LSU's got a long history of like a bunch of great players all wearing the number 7, right? So it's like a time-honored tradition that you're a really good player, and then you get to wear number 7 for them. I just don't understand why Jaden. Why choose this? You're coming off an injury. You're trying to get yourself back into, the upper echelon, and where people were thinking about you as one of the best young players in the league. And now you want to send a cease and desist and tell them to send back the Heisman?
And in fairness, this is all it's all LSU, so there has not been a player that's worn number 9 since Joe Burrow wore it. But in fairness, they haven't retired it, but the last guy to wear it won a national title. Jaden Daniels, I understand he won a Heisman Trophy, but you didn't win a national title. In college football, I understand a Heisman is great, but for the program, you want the national title. It's arguably the greatest team to ever be assembled, and I understand why they haven't given it away. Now, who's to say there's no report that, hey, this guy wanted number 9 and they wouldn't give it to him? Although I'm sure that would have come out by if that would have happened by now, I'm sure we would have known about it. LSU denies player the chance to wear number 9 or whatever. That would have been out by now, if it actually was a thing. I just think it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I think
it's really embarrassing for Jaden Daniels. I think.
Yeah, I think so. It's just we talk about this with some other stuff. It's below you. It's below you. You're a starting NFL quarterback. You did your stuff at LSU. You spent 2 years there. You got to worry about the Commanders not picking fights with LSU over some top recruit wearing your number.
Cody, you even said he spent more time at ASU than he did at LSU.
He did. He spent 3 seasons at Arizona State. Ask for them to retire your number. Like, what are we doing here? Look, and I get it. Joe Burrow didn't spend his entire time. He was at Ohio State. I'm not, Joe Burrow didn't spend his entire time.
He never played at Ohio State. Like, I think that also is some of the – Jaden Daniels played at Arizona State, then transferred in where – Joe couldn't cut it, essentially, at Ohio State.
But he technically spent the same amount of time at Ohio State as he did at LSU. You're right.
Yeah, right.
He barely played at Ohio State. And one of those years, Jaden Daniels didn't play at Arizona State very much. He played 2 years as pretty much a full-time starter.
Herm Edwards.
But, there is a difference between Joe Burrow, and we don't just say this because, of how we feel about the NFL team or the team he's on now or him as an NFL quarterback. Joe Burrow completed, in my opinion, and a lot of people's opinion, the single greatest season in college football history. I think he had the single greatest season for the single greatest team in college football history, completing an undefeated season for a national champion on his way to a unanimous Heisman Trophy.
He threw for 5,600 yards and 60 touchdowns.
It's the single greatest season in college football history. It really is. For a team and an individual. So, if they're treating you differently, sorry. I'm sorry that happened to you. He had a better year, a better career, a better season, a better team.
What did you say? He wants him to return the Heisman or whatever?
Yeah, they have a copy of the Heisman as well. He doesn't want them to have his copy of his Heisman there. It's just also petty. It's embarrassing.
He's disassociating himself now from the university.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you go cease and desist your school you went to. You're basically saying, I'm okay with ruining my relationship with the school I went to. Yeah, it's a dumb decision. And one, also, I don't think his attorney and them are going to really win. I mean, basically over wearing number 5. He doesn't legally have the rights to the LSU number 5 jersey.
I'm really
They're
curious.
out of their damn mind.
Hey, I'm curious now, guys. Are they on primetime at all?
The Commanders?
Yeah, so
I'm sure.
So they're on Monday night. I see a Sunday night game too. I'm going to be primed and ready for when they play the Eagles on November 1st. Does Jaden Daniels say Jaden Daniels, LSU, or does he say Jaden Daniels, his hometown?
Arizona State.
They probably already recorded those,
feels
haven't
like
those? Or high school,
It feels like the saltiness, though, Cody, would go so far that they would call NBC and be like, yo, I got to re-record this because I can't say LSU.
Boy, it could go rough for the Commanders right away. Their first 6 games before their bye week are at Philadelphia, at Dallas, versus Seattle, Indy, the Giants, at San Francisco.
Yeah, we'll learn a lot about the Commanders the first 3 weeks of the season.
They're going to win 5 games.
Cowboys, Seahawks. If they somehow if they've really improved and they go 2-1 or 3-0 or something, I don't think they're going to. But if they did that, then we would have to view them differently. But there's a real chance they start 0-3.
Commanders
could be 0-3 going to a must-win game at home against the Colts in London.
This Commanders are winning 5 or 6 games. Said he needs to send a cease and desist to his mama.
Yes, he does. He does.
They're winning 5 or 6 games. That's it. Look at their schedule. They're winning 5 or 6 games. Their offensive line is trash. Their defense isn't noticeably improved. Their wide receivers got slightly better, with an addition this week. But it's still not a unit you deeply fear.
And Drew, you were mentioning the primetime games. Did you see? This is just, for those that believe the league is scripted, this is just perfection. Monday, November 23rd, Monday Night Football in D.C., Joe Burrow, Jaden Daniels. Bengals, Commanders. I mean, that's perfect. That's perfect. If only it was like week 1 of the season, so we'd get this fresh off of this story.
We need to get Herm Edwards and Coach O out there. Yeah, just get the gang all back together. To have a big celebration of just LSU again, I guess.
So that's the Jaden Daniels news of the day. If you haven't seen it, this has become a story. Late last night, I think, was when the article first came out, and then I follow some people from, we've had on the show our friend Grant Paulson, who I used to do a weekend show with, and he's been tweeting all about it. That's how I got that latest update about wanting to return the copy of
they're probably talking about that more than they are the actual football season.
Oh, it's got to be clearly their lead today. It's we're talking about here in Kansas City. It's a big deal when your quarterback who needs to have a big year 3 is now worried about this stuff, and now it has to be asked during training camp. Mm-hmm. It now becomes a huge distraction. Especially if your team stinks. It becomes a bigger distraction.
Just focused on the wrong things.
His best path right now, unless he truly is just upset about it, is for him to speak to the media tomorrow and say, hey, look, we've withdrawn the cease and desist. I got some bad advice. My mom was handling all that. But even if he's lying, that's his best path versus continuing down what he's doing right now. Someone said you guys are acting like Jaden Daniels can't play. No, not at all. Actually, what's funny? I actually really like Jaden Daniels. I think Jaden Daniels had been arguably very humble entering the league. And he was awesome his rookie year. Seems like he's got, his head on the shoulders straight and a good person and all this kind of stuff and stays out of trouble. And I think he's a great quarterback. So we're not acting like he's bad. He's not on the same level as Joe Burrow at LSU. That is just a fact. And so that's where I'm disputing how good he is when it comes to that level of it.
Yeah, I think it's just bad decision-making. And by the way, smart people who we think are doing they can still make bad decisions, which is what I think is happening here in Jaden Daniels. Just listen to the wrong person, which happens to be maybe his mom, and that they feel like they're owed something different than maybe they're owed. I didn't mean to get us off on a tangent. I knew we were going to talk Orlovsky, which we can still do at 12:30 or whatever. But he
likes Jaden Daniels.
Orlovsky?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
How many top 10 traits does he have? Let's talk about him at 12:30, so we still get your kid questions. But Orlovsky, we got a bone to pick.
Our training camp coverage is presented by Yingling Flight. Football season starts here. Reach for Yingling Flight, the next generation of light beer. Enjoy responsibly. All right, Drew, let's get to them.
Camp questions.
All right, I got 3 of them for you. One is a little bit fun at the end. I think you guys will appreciate this, as will I. Number 1, though. Travis Kelce mentioned yesterday he wants to play at a better level than last year. Is that and obviously, hearing that is nice, but how much better can he actually be than last year given the age and all that other stuff? He had 76 for 850 and 5 touchdowns last year. It's hard to think that he can be much more better given, again, the age, just the usage and all that other stuff.
I don't think statistically he'll be better than 851 and 5 touchdowns. I personally don't think so. It's about the mistakes thrown, the crucial moments, the big catches. Remember how many times, especially early in the year, red zone, ball right off his fingertips, led to a pick 6. That's where I think he's better. I think, and I'm not saying that he wasn't focused on football. That's unfair. But I think he will be, locked in more, if that makes sense. I think he will be focused in on that kind of stuff a bit more, making sure he doesn't make the same mistakes because that's the type of football player he is. He's not going to wrap up his career being the guy that is not able to catch the football leading to interceptions. It's another reason why I think he also came back, not just because the team's success was bad last year.
For the 400th straight year, I'll be taking Travis Kelce's over on whatever yardage total they eventually stick
What is
on
it at
him.
now?
But what about this? Are you taking the over on 76 for 851 and 5 touchdowns, though?
Probably close to that. I think it'll be a very comparable season if you make me do it. Maybe we can have a longer conversation on it tomorrow, but I expect Travis Kelce to be at least as good. I don't think he's been any worse. I think there's a chance he could be a little bit better. I think that those numbers are about right. The Vegas over-under will be like 720.
No, it's already been out. I could find it again. It was only 6-something. It's ridiculous. Yeah. No, it's out there. I got to find it.
If you guys like what I would close to, there is no free money in gambling. Guys, every year we sit in these preseason conversations, and every year I tell you to bet the over on Travis Kelce's yardage, and every year I cash that ticket. If you would like to join that grouping, I'll be doing it again.
$699.5 at DraftKings right now.
Under 700?
Over is minus 125. The under is even money, plus 100. Receiving touchdown over under 4.5.
They got an outline on them for
I'm sure
an
you
extra
can find
100.
it. I don't have it in front of me, but I'm sure.
Then we're probably having a different conversation. I'll at least entertain that. What do you got next, Drew?
All right, number 2. Dave Tope mentioned yesterday Brashard Smith and maybe even Cyrus Allen could be getting punt returns over the course of the game on Saturday, maybe even more. This is it for Brashard, right? I mean, this is his last chance to make the team, I would presume, is if he can't be better than, I guess, Cyrus or Nico or Mihio at fielding these punts, I think he's getting cut. I don't know if you guys feel the same way.
See, I think he's making the team now based on the conversation that's happened, and it will be as a returner, but doesn't mean he's going to be the quote-unquote number one returner on punt returns.
Sometimes they have two guys back.
Yeah, on kickoffs. I before camp started, admittedly, I would have said, oh, yeah, he's not making this team. The conversations we've had with Nate and other people up here and just watching the reps he's getting, although he muffed a punt yesterday or 2 days ago, we saw right in front of us, I think he's making the team now, which is not what I would have thought.
I think he's making the team. I think running backs are always good special teams players anyway. They've carried 4 running backs multiple times, so I guess I don't overly worry that. And with DeMarcado's injury history, you're just going to let Brashard Smith go? He played actual snaps for you last year. You're not going to just let a running back into the ether that played real snaps for you. You can baby with Emmett Johnson before Brashard Smith. If anything, if there's just some random pass catch rep to be had for a running back, it's still more likely to go to Brashard Smith in the regular season than it is Emmett Johnson. So, yeah, Brashard's making the team, I think. Yeah, I think so. They don't trust rookies.
I understand, but I think from a talent standpoint, I mean, catching the balls what Emmett Johnson did, I mean, that was what he did a little bit in Nebraska.
That's true.
Anyways, number 3 for you. Josh Allen was with Kyle Brandt. I don't know if this is on NFL Network of some kind. He must have been at camp. But apparently Josh Allen has a quote-unquote special bottle of bourbon in his basement that he's saving for when the Bills win a Super Bowl. Is this ever getting open? Just given the fact that, all the trouble he's had with Mahomes and he's lost to Burrow in the playoffs, he's lost to now Denver in the playoffs. Is this bottle of bourbon ever actually getting open? People are asking.
I think one day it does, but I've said over and over, if him or Lamar in particular do not win a ring in the next 3 years, I don't think it's ever happening. So I guess to answer your question, if it does, the next 3 years, it has to happen.
I got to say.
Otherwise, I don't think he's ever opening that bottle of bourbon.
This might be more common than I give it credit for. This feels as sad as the empty shelf Kirk Cousins had in his little trophy room for the eventual Super Bowl trophy. Remember, he's like, this is the spot. This is the empty spot I left for the trophy. It's like, you got to drink. What are you going to do, sell it? You're like, you retired. No Super Bowl wins. You're just never going to drink it? Oh, no. Don't have trophies for when eventual hypothetical things might occur. You're Josh Allen. You're going to be worth $1 billion maybe one day. Just go buy the specialty bottle of bourbon.
Yeah, it's a motivation thing for him. It's a motivation thing. It's not whether or not he can have the bottle now or not. It's just a motivational tactic. Everybody does different things. I don't have an issue with it. I think there's a good chance he never gets that ring. But I don't.
Yeah.
I still think, again, the next 3 years, I have a feeling Lamar or Allen or Burrow in the next 3 years, one of them will have a ring. I don't know who it is.
You think someone's getting through?
I think one of that group.
I don't think that entire group's
I think somebody in that group within the next 3 years is getting it, and I think specifically Allen and Jackson have to in the next 3, or they won't ever get one.
I just look back at last season still and be like, you all have to hate yourselves.
Yeah.
The 1 year the Chiefs aren't even going to be like a team you have to face in the postseason, and not a single one of you can scrap together the year in order to make a run? Burrow's team couldn't make the playoffs. Lamar's team couldn't make the playoffs.
Someone said
and Josh Allen couldn't get through Bo Nix.
Yeah, someone on the text line said Josh Allen should not have told everybody this. Now it's going to be viewed as some some curse or something. Now, the Bills are cursed plenty before a bottle of bourbon. So
yeah, they stacking curses on curses. The bourbon's the least of their.
Back to the '90s.
Yeah, they still got Norwood
Jim
to deal
Kelly
with.
And
they got Jim Kelly. Did you say Chip Kelly?
I didn't.
Oh, I thought you said Chip Kelly.
I didn't say any. I said Jim Kelly.
I thought you said Chip.
Definitely Jim Kelly.
Yeah.
Maybe I said
Cody,
shorter.
Cody, can you tell me where Chip Kelly is currently an OC at right now in college football?
He's an OC in college?
Uh-huh.
Feels like an SEC school. Auburn.
Nope. Northwestern.
Get their brand new stadium.
Yeah, they did get a brand new one, yeah.
They did. They got a bunch of NIL money, didn't they? Didn't somebody just hand them some
30,
donor just hand them a big pile of cash?
Brand new stadium and $35 million or something like that. Shout out to some deep pockets, I guess. Are
they going to go? Are they the next? Is it the next Indiana?
Their academic standards are a little different too.
Yeah, it's a good point. Yeah, they're more like
doesn't
Stanford in a way.
But can they get a college football playoff? I'll tell you right now. If I'm same thing applies. If I had won the lottery last night and I handed UMKC a check for $35 million, your ass better be in the tournament immediately. I don't mean like, in the next couple of years let's build a program. Now, we better be in the tournament today.
Hey, based on how the last couple of years have gone, maybe they'd rather be in the SEC than in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
Actually.
No kidding.
Probably.
Those are camp questions here on Cody and Gold. Up next, let's talk about this new list from Dan Orlovsky as it relates to traits from quarterbacks.
Yes.
Yeah, you know where this is headed. And the random question of the day.
You're listening to Cody and Gold. Tune in for the Chiefs Red Half Hour every day, starting at 11:30 right here on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
Looking to get more out of today's baseball action? Well, FanDuel has you covered. Right now, you can head to the FanDuel app and claim a profit boost to use on any bet type for today's game. That's any bet type, money lines, totals, home runs, player props, however you want to play. Real simple. Just tap claim now and grab your token and apply it to your bet before you place it. Head to FanDuel.com/local to get started. Maybe you're backing the home team to win. Maybe you like the over, or maybe you're calling your shot and you're picking somebody to go deep. Whatever you're feeling, whatever you want to wager, make sure that you use your boost to get the most out of it. Visit FanDuel.com/local now to claim your MLB Profit Boost token. FanDuel, your home for home runs. FanDuel is the official sportsbook of Major League Baseball and also 96.5 The Fan. 21 in President, Missouri. Option required. Bonus issues, non-withdrawable profit boost token restrictions apply, including any token expiration and MAC wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Give them a problem. Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
I hope you are sitting down. The ACA Marketplace has announced significant increases on monthly premiums, with deductibles over $10,000. You can enroll with Matt B. and KC at BBS Insurance's Freedom of Choice plan now. You don't have to wait. Their plan lets you use any doctor, has zero outpatient deductibles, and is 30 to 60% lower cost than most Obamacare plans. Also, there's no income disclosure required, so no potential tax penalties. If you're a small business owner or pay for your own health insurance, you're uninsured, you're on COBRA, or your employer coverage is just too expensive, call Matt B. and KC for an instant quote over the phone. 816-205-4664. That's 816-205-4664. Or go to bbsinsurance.net. That's bbsinsurance.net. They will customize a plan chosen and managed by you, not the government.
Men, erectile dysfunction can affect much more than just your sex life. It can create stress in relationships, leading to feelings of anxiety or embarrassment, and impact your overall confidence and well-being. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and we specialize in treating men's sexual health issues to help men find solutions that fit their individual needs. ED is a frustrating condition, and many men suffer for years without seeking treatment. But the good news is that if you're like most men, we have the answer. Our licensed medical providers will evaluate your specific medical situation and recommend a plan designed for you. And these advanced medical therapies work, with treatments having success rates of well over 90%. which means you and the one you love can have great sex again without the fear and worry of ED. You can even last up to an hour or more, and you may just find you're performing like you haven't in years. So call us. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com.
Back to school is here, and your life just got busy. Skip one stop on your to-do list with Hy-Vee online shopping. Order groceries on the Hy-Vee app or at Hy-Vee.com. Choose pickup or delivery, and let us do the shopping for you. One less errand, one more win for busy families. And don't forget, Hy-Vee Perks helps you save even more with Fuel Saver rewards and exclusive deals. Back to school made easier, only at Hy-Vee.
There's nothing like Chiefs game day, and whether you're hosting a crowd or keeping it low-key, you gotta be ready. Get everything you need for game day in one easy stop at Hy-Vee. Grab ribs, wings, party trays, dips, and those amazing Chiefs-themed cookies and cakes. Plus, a huge selection of beer, wine, and spirits. They even have official Chiefs gear in every size and style for the whole family, so you're repping red on game day. Order online for pickup or delivery and let Hy-Vee do the shopping. It's a total game changer. Elevate your Chiefs game day only at Hy-Vee.
One contractor, all things parking lot. That's who they are over at Gann Asphalt and Concrete, a locally owned and operated company who is ready to take on that project for you, whether it be commercial paving services, asphalt services, or any large-scale project. The first thing a client sees about your business is the parking lot, and Gann Asphalt and Concrete is ready to make sure it gives the right first impression. Trust a locally owned and operated company who is ready to do that work for you. Give them a call, 816-688-3512, or check them out at GannAsphalt.com.
Someone had a birthday.
Yep, 50. Can't believe it.
50 years of wisdom.
Great segue. We have a health reminder from the CDC.
Pneumococcal vaccination is recommended for adults 50 or older. Says here, we're over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50.
I don't love those odds.
Same. Look what I found. Pfizer's Prevnar 20 is proven to help protect adults against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease in just one dose, and millions have already gotten it.
Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you have a severe allergy to its ingredients. A weakened immune system may lower your response. Common side effects include injection site pain and swelling, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138. Visit Prevnar20.com or talk to your doctor or pharmacist.
I'm on Prevnar20.com now, scheduling my appointment.
Good idea. And happy 50th.
J. Rieger & Co. Oh, so good. Quality crafted in Kansas City. J. Rieger & Co. Straight Bourbon Whiskey. Winner of Best Craft Bourbon at the 2025 Ascot Awards. At 90 proof, it's rich, well-balanced, and oh, so good. Quality crafted in Kansas City.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Back here in St. Joe, Cody and Gold broadcasting live from Mo West. Chiefs practice today. They're off tomorrow. First preseason game coming up on Saturday. Our coverage is presented by Break Time. Whether fueling up or grabbing a snack on the way to training camp, Break Time reminds you not all convenience stores are the same. Download their app and find a location near you. We'll get to the random question of the day here in about 8 minutes or so. But as we mentioned right before we went to break, Dan Orlovsky has a new list out in quarterback rankings by trait. So he separated it by arm strength, ball placement, mechanics, decision-making, pocket presence, second reaction, and rushing ability. So, for example, for arm strength, he listed Josh Allen 1, Justin Herbert 2, Caleb Williams 3, Stafford 4, Patrick Mahomes 5, and he ranks 10 in every category. So if you're not in the top 10, you're not ranked, okay? And I bring it up that way because Dan Orlovsky, for arm strength, had Mahomes 5. For ball placement, not a top 10 quarterback. For mechanics, he says he's not a top 10 quarterback. For decision-making with the football, he says he's the 9th best quarterback. For pocket presence, he says he's not one of the 10 best, unranked. For second reaction ability, he gave him 3rd. For rushing ability, he gave him 7th. Mahomes being unranked for ball placement, mechanics, and pocket presence, not a top 10 quarterback in those. Oh, and And also, second reaction ability being third is hilarious to me. To me, he's had the best second reaction ability of any quarterback in football over his career. But this is just another one of those different ways to do a QB ranking list, and Dan Orlovsky is officially a Patrick Mahomes hater. It's been going on for a while now.
Well, it's
Mahomes
stupid.
Mahomes doesn't need to be number one in every single one. He doesn't need to be number two in every single one. But how is he not ranked in three of the categories? Hilarious.
Well, and I got to say, like, some of the conspiracy theories on this are just probably accurate.
Okay.
Like Tucker Franklin had pointed it out. 6 of his 7 top quarterbacks in overall ranking this are CAA clients, the same firm that reps him. He has Josh Allen as the number 1 quarterback in decision-making in the NFL. And where you're like, well, I don't know, Josh Allen's really good. Maybe he is the best decision maker. He leads the NFL in turnovers since 2020.
Well, his last game he played, we all saw.
So, like, I would
the
just,
ball to the Denver Broncos.
I would just point out that Josh Allen has turned the ball over 92 times since 2020. That's the number 1 decision maker with the football? Or only in the passing sense? Or not when he runs? That doesn't count. Or, like, I mean, some of it is just legitimately, I think he's doing it as like a client thing. I think it's like you borderline can see through it. Or he's delusional or insane or something. I don't know.
It's like
he had Jaden Daniels below Bo Nix in rushing ability.
Yeah, it's like the Bill Barnwell stuff from last week. You know, I think it's an attention thing. I think it is just an attention thing. Dan Orlovsky wants people to talk about him. And he knows for people to talk about his rankings, he has to have 1 or 2 things that are going to get people talking. And people are finally seeing through it, which is nice. In particular, he's chosen, in this offseason, a lot of the national media has chosen to discredit Patrick Mahomes. I think it's odd. It's happened a lot. He needs to be better this year. That's not what I'm not saying that Patrick Mahomes doesn't need to be better this year. He does.
He does.
But some of these lists, and then the whole thing about the all-decade team last week from Bill Barnwell, some of it is just like, it makes no sense to the point where it has to be an intentional, deliberate effort to get attention.
Yes. I mean, I legitimately can't come up with a reason besides it. Or you're just an idiot. It's fine. It's your choice. I actually would respect it more if it was for attention than you're just stupid. Because I can't figure out any other circumstance in which this took place. Again, in just, like, let's take Mahomes out of it for a minute. You're like, no. You guys can't see the forest through the trees, you know? You can't see it because it's just Patrick Mahomes who is stuck in this ability. You can't do it. He had Bo Nix rated above Jaden Daniels in rushing ability. Alex, you and I have watched enough football. I'm not taking a professional scout. Guys, come on. Who's the better runner of the football? Is it Jaden Daniels?
I think it's actually pretty close.
It is not close. What? You think it's close?
Cody.
Drew, how do you think it's close?
What do you? I don't.
Ability to run with the football.
Yeah, they're both solid at it. I don't think Jaden Daniels is not Lamar Jackson.
I don't know, man. I mean, he's better than Bo Nix. Bo Nix had 356.
He averages 1 more yard per attempt. They're both the same.
So you found one stat?
No, I'm just looking at Cody.
Because Patrick Mahomes, based on that, is just as good as some of these guys, and Mahomes has just got a good feel for it.
Yeah,
I don't think it's close. You think it's close? He's an idiot either way. So we don't have to get hung up on whether or not we think one guy is a better runner than the other.
I think he's got an interesting opinion that I don't agree with. That's the best way I can describe it.
Jaden Daniels had 891 yards and 6 touchdowns running the ball his rookie year. Bo Nix had 350 and a touchdown last year. Genuinely double, 2.5 times the productivity is that. And look, it's just, you're right, Drew. I understand not play nice, but the idea of why Barry. This is not a different opinion. This is stupid. This is either for attention or dumb. I respect opinions that are different than mine if they are legitimately just different than mine because, we think we think Lamar is better than Burrow's better than Allen, or Allen's better. I can respect an actual opinion. This is not that. I think I'm with Gold in this, and that it's not an opinion. It is just something to get attention.
Yeah, I don't care as much about the Bo Nix, Jaden Daniels rushing thing. My issue is more the Mahomes stuff. I don't really care if Bo Nix is 1 spot ahead of Jaden Daniels on rushing ability. That doesn't.
I just think it proves more idiocracy. That's all.
If Bo Nix was 5th and Daniels was 10, that's a bigger problem than 1 spot difference. Coin flip, not as problematic. But some of the other ones are clearly just trying to get attention.
Do you not think that people just do things in media for attention, Drew, or you think this is his honest opinion?
No, I think people do. It's just that I think that, he, for whatever reason, has... I mean, he played in the NFL, so I think you have to take, okay, this guy's got an opinion. I don't agree with it, but, I'm over the Skip Bayless is an idiot because he thinks this and this and this. Because he's got an opinion, and is it right? I don't know. I mean, probably not a lot of the time. But to me, I never am ever going to get caught up in it again because I got caught up so much. Going back to, college and watching First Take and all this other stuff, we get so riled up about things that we don't need to be riled up about. It's like, dang, Dan Orlovsky said that. I disagree, but cool. That's good for you. I'm not gonna. I don't need to waste my brain space on thinking that Dan Orlovsky's an idiot. When he's got his own opinion. I say things that I believe that are probably what other people think are crazy. That's fine.
I guess
I don't make a big deal out of it.
We're in an opinion-based business, too, so I think that makes a bigger difference, at least on our end. But it's just, I don't even like the notion of, well, he played in the NFL, so he must have some sense. No. I heard an NFL player this week, we played a clip on the show, an NFL player claiming that Antonio Brown was as good as Jerry Rice. So, I don't have to just respect every opinion just because they played in the NFL. Sometimes opinions are just wrong.
I don't think his opinion was wrong, actually. Antonio Brown had one of the greatest stretches of 6 seasons in the history of the NFL. So to me, your opinion, I don't agree with what LaShawn McCoy said, but if you look at Antonio Brown had a 6-year stretch where he put up numbers that you can hang with anybody, including Jerry Rice.
Yeah, I think people have stretched stuff like this too far, though, right? You're right fundamentally. Of course, everybody has a right to their opinion, right? And yes, we can disagree on plenty of them. But you and I both know there's also the extreme, right? And I feel like now we've reached the extreme on a lot of this stuff, right? There's the extreme. I could come on the show, and I could have an opinion you disagree. I could say, you know what, Bo Nix is better than Joe Burrow. And you would simply just say, I just disagree with that. I just don't buy that.
It's a little wild. But to me, if you think that Bo Nix is better, that's fine. I don't.
You should care.
It doesn't matter. I don't care.
If he says that, you should care.
I don't care.
I'm not saying it should ruin your day, Drew. I'm not saying you should go at home and, twist in bed at night without sleeping.
Why should it care to me?
Why should you care if he says that?
If Gold thinks that Bo Nix is better than Joe Burrow, why should I care?
I would make the argument
I'm not a part
that
of his family. I root for Joe Burrow. I told you this before. If Joe Burrow gets hurt again and Flacco leads him to the Super Bowl, I'm happy. I don't care if Joe Burrow leads the Bengals to the Super Bowl tonight. If the Bengals win, that's all I care about. To me,
so is it only a sports-based thing?
And do we think these people actually sometimes believe what they're saying, right? That's my big thing.
I think a lot.
That's my big thing. We talk about this on the show all the time. You guys might disagree with my opinions all the time. You might think I'm an idiot. I say stuff that I actually believe. The Bo Nix thing was a joke, by the way. So I say
that on record now.
I say things that I believe. I think that's something we kind of try to pride ourselves on with this show, and more than ever, I think we're at least trending in some sports radio and media to go more towards the authentic side, and that's what people want. But I think on sports television, it is still the hot take stuff, although I do also think it's shifting more towards, hey, people would rather you be authentic even if they disagree with their opinion. So I think there's just a difference of, is Dan Orlovsky actually think this? And I am questioning whether or not he's doing it just to get attention.
That's
why you should care about it. Because if people are doing it to be fake and phony, that should tick you off.
As an NFL analyst that played in the NFL, I expect him to believe what he says.
Oh, so I expect him to.
And I think
I don't know if he does.
He goes through the evaluation. Look, your evaluation might be different than anybody else's. But for me, I trust that you are giving your thoughts on this and that you believe them. If you do, great. If not, it's not going to affect me and ruin my day. I'm not sitting around man, he said Joe Burrow doesn't have this or that or the other. To me, I don't care.
Yeah, it's not like I'm gripping the steering wheel tight, mad about Mahomes' ranking either, Drew. That's not the point of the conversation.
I guess part of it is that is just one of the things about sports fandom, in my opinion, is debate. Debate that actually has an argument. I said earlier, I think that LSU team's the greatest team to ever play in college football. And you and I are sitting in a bar and you're like, no, it's this Alabama team or this team. And we go back and forth and we go, that's to ruin everybody's day. But I like people to be honest. And this isn't just a sports-related thing. I don't think he's being disingenuous.
How, though?
I think he might have spent 10 minutes. I don't think he believes anything he wrote there. I think he's saying it to get clicks on a paper or an intern.
But that's the thing.
To get
you don't
clicks.
know that, though. But you don't know that. Like Jan Darnowski was on First Take today. I didn't watch First Take. For all I know, he went through and he explained his evaluation process. I didn't read the whole article. For all I know, he actually believes those things because of the set criteria of him looking at film versus this and versus that. Like, he weighs things differently. I might disagree with it, but for me, for him to be an NFL analyst, I don't think an NFL analyst would do that sort of a thing where somebody like Skip Bayless would do that thing. I think it's very different when
that's doing a lot of work for them.
I think it's very different for you to say, I've been in this space. This is what I think based on what I believe and what I was taught and what I think about the game and yada, yada, yada. Okay, that's interesting, and I'm going to go in with that viewpoint as opposed to what you preach is gospel because you played in the NFL and everything you say is right. Like, I'm not saying Dan's right, but I'm not saying that he's absolutely wrong because his opinion varies so far wide compared to what a lot of people think, if that makes sense.
I guess, yeah. And look, this is where you and I are just having a different of opinion, and I don't think it's an Orlovsky thing. I think you do think I think you see the better in people than I do sometimes, which is okay. That's probably a good quality in a person. I think people, even former NFL players, make stuff up for TV all the time. I know for a fact they sit in meetings in which producers give them opinions to have, give them topics to discuss and an aside to have. And so, and I think Orlovsky's probably a part of that machine in some capacity. Maybe not this article, I don't know, but certainly other times, in at least this case, that would be there. But that's all right. I mean, I get what you're saying on that part of it. But I also, some of that, Drew, might just be I'm hardened because I've been doing sports radio now for 10 years.
You're what?
And I don't... Hardened?
Gotcha. Just checking.
I've been doing sports radio for 10 years, and I can't count with 15 different hands. A number of times somebody says, listen to you, dumbass, never played football, dummy, can't say this. And I can't tell you how many times NFL athletes or personnel or people have said wrong or stupid or incorrect things. And I have to defend myself because I didn't play wide receiver in high school at me age. So, that part of it, no, NFL players are wrong. Coaches get decisions wrong. Andy can go for a fourth down decision, and just because he's been in football for 50 years doesn't make the decision wrong or an opinion wrong.
Orlovsky ran out the back of the end zone. So, he makes
100%, I would absolutely recognize that. I'm not saying that. Look, just because I see the better in people or whatever the phrase you used was, that doesn't mean that when you make a bad decision, I'm afraid to say I'm not scared to not say you made a bad decision. Dan Orlovsky made his list based on his criteria. There's no set criteria for his list. There's no set criteria for how you come up with a top quarterback list, how you evaluate things.
I think you spent 5 minutes.
This is Dan Orlovsky's list. Period. It's nobody else's. You could make a list that is totally different based on the exact same traits.
It would be quite different.
And that's fine. But to me, that's why I'm not going to sit up here and say Dan Orlovsky is dumb because of this and this, because the thing that he gave was there is no set criteria. That's why the greatest of all time argument is the dumbest argument ever, because there is no such thing as the GOAT. But we love to have the conversation because everybody's got a set criteria, but there's never a right answer. And I think that's the same thing with Dan Orlovsky's
take. So
there's no right answer for what he's trying to
But at least we're
evaluate.
talking about the right two people in the GOAT argument. But the third guy doesn't come out and try to say that Chris Paul's the greatest of all time out of nowhere. You know what I mean?
I think Drew, I don't disagree that they're
Anyway, we need to move on, though.
We
spend way too much time on it, but that's our fault. But, yeah, let's get to the random question of the day.
Random question.
For you, Gold. For you, Drew. Text line 913-586-7965. Over on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and Facebook, where we live stream the show every single day, even when we are not in studio. We got the video stream up. We'll be back in studio tomorrow for a little Fan Club Friday.
Yeah.
So we'll have a little fun out there. If you want to follow us on YouTube, like and subscribe, pop to the top of your feed on Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, and others. That way you don't miss any part of the show. Question I have for you today, talking of intelligence and everything else, I got a question about how you would handle something. It was a question that was brought up over on the internet, and then I've shrunk it to a number that I think is reasonable versus the other. So I want to ask you a question about time, and if you would be willing to give up this amount of time to do it while everything else stands beside you. Okay. We were talking a little bit about books the other day, or the idea that people should, expand your horizons, all the other stuff outside of it. All right, I put you in a room. You got 1,000 books to read. They're of similar length. Doesn't matter. Okay. I give you a total number of pages if you'd feel the same. 1,000 total books to read. They'll pay you $500,000 to do it. Not a ton of money. 1,000 books to read. Time stands still during that time. Nobody gets older. You don't get older. No one in your life gets older. But you can't leave that room. You just got to sit there and read 1,000 books. It'll take you 3 to 5 years on average, depending on how fast you read, to read it. Do you do it for the $500,000?
No.
You couldn't do it? Free money, nothing else changes. Your life, you're just better with the knowledge.
I'm stuck.
Of 1,000
I'm stuck
books.
in a room. Can't leave. Have no sense of time, even though it's not moving. I have no sense of time.
You can eat and stuff. It's just however
Like,
long
do
it
I
takes
have
you to
my
get-
normal day?
You're not interacting with people.
Oh, that's just mentally going to screw you up.
You
if
can
can't
watch a
interact
TV
with
show
people.
if you need a break or whatever. It's however long it takes you to read the 1,000.
But I can't interact with anybody for how long?
An average person, it would take them 3 to 5 years.
So for 3 to 5 years, I
You can
cannot
shorten
have
it if you read
For
faster.
3 years, I cannot talk to another person. That's going to screw you up. No, I'm good.
You think it's going to screw you up?
Yep, I'm good.
Nothing's going to change. Everyone's
I'm
going to
good.
be the same age.
Yeah, I'm good.
You're not going to age.
Yeah, I'm
Drew,
out.
would you do it?
I mean,
$500,000 cleared. Your same life now,
I think,
same money.
I think mentally that would screw you up, man. Not be
yeah,
able to talk
I
to
would
somebody.
say no. I would say I'll pass.
I think I'd do it. Really? How much? What's the number to do it? $1 million?
Like legitimately,
$2 million?
I
$5
would-
million?
Like no, like
There's a number, but I
legitimately, I would be worried that not talking to another human being for 3 years would screw you up mentally. I really believe that.
So if I gave you, what if it's Groundhog Day and you got to get to the 1,000? So you can interact with people
Yeah,
and whatever.
yeah. I'm
So it
more
might
likely
take
to
you
do it
10
then.
years.
Yeah.
It might take you 10 years instead of 3 to 5. You get the $500,000 at the end. So you get the knowledge of that day and however many books you can read.
Yeah, I think it's,
I can set a number of pages of books.
Yeah,
'cause books
I probably
can
would
vary.
still say no. I don't want to be stuck in any one spot for 10 years. So I think I'm no all the way around.
You're just no across the board.
Yeah, you're basically, like someone said, you're basically saying solitary confinement for
But knowledge.
$500,000.
Well, I guess part of this is like I thought about it as like what a once in a lifetime opportunity to, like, I could learn a foreign language or several foreign languages or about things in history I didn't know about. It's like it's a free pass to learn stuff that I never learned. And
then
I
the
could just
real
read fiction or whatever. I mean, nothing's stopping me from changing up the books between medical textbooks or this. I could set a number of pages. Let's say an average book is 300 pages.
Someone
You gotta
says,
read.
Gold, have you not seen Castaway? Tom Hanks made a friend out of a volleyball. I don't think I want to make a friend with, I don't know, just the lamp. I don't know what would be still in the room.
It'd be tough if it was a Groundhog Day because there'd be days you just took off.
How long is this for again?
If you read one book a day, it would take you like 3 years.
Yeah, I'm out.
Drew, if it's Groundhog Day and you
I
still get to
also
interact
can't-
with people,
I
I
also
feel like
can't read one book a day. Like I'm not.
you get so much better. Of course, you could read a book a day.
I read too slow.
I think you could
do an audiobook.
You could read Dan Orlovsky's quarterback tears over and over and over and over.
You could, Drew. You could
is
get
that
through a book a day.
Is it considered a book? Then, if so, then I mean,
He might make a
I
book
could get
now
through it,
with
you
all
know?
his takes when his career is over.
If you had nothing to do but read, you could get through a book a day, no problem. 300 pages. That would not take you.
Do you
I could
have-
get through 2 or 3 books a day, depending on the length of the book.
Do you have
if I had nothing to do but sit there and read?
Do you have a sense of time, or do you not know how long a day?
You have
how
a sense
long-
of time. You still, it's still, you don't have to sleep, but you have a sense of time. It's Groundhog Day. I'll allow you to sleep, do whatever. You can hang out with your wife that day if you need a break from
But
whatever.
So how long do I have? I guess to.
As long as you want.
Again.
You take your sweet time. You can take 10 years if you want, but you're obviously getting the money faster if you just get it over with.
Correct.
I would be powering through the books. It'd be like, I'd be treating it very serious. Like, how fast and how many books can I get through in that amount of time?
But you can live life normal as well.
Yeah, you can go to job if you want. You need a break. You want to go to the golf course for a day? That's fine.
Wait, so hold on. So I can.
But it's going to take you longer to read.
Correct. But could I technically just live my life and not read at all? I just don't get the money.
But you just want to relive the same day over and over again? Nobody wants to get stuck in Groundhog Day. This is a situation where you don't age. Nobody ages around you. So you're not giving up, life. You're not giving up somebody else's life. My kids aren't going to be 5 years older. And I
People
don't
are
have
convinced
$500,000.
this is just for you because this is what having kids does. People are convinced you want to do this because you just want peace and quiet, Cody. People are convinced that's why you're
Cody
so
wants
about
to be able
this.
to go to the gym a little bit. You know?
Yeah, Drew, that's exactly. He told us yesterday he hadn't had time to run like you or go to the gym or anything.
Don't.
And Cody just wants quiet for 10 years to read by himself for 10
Some
years.
peace and quiet. Yes.
Someone
Gotta
said
take
you'd
a deep
lose your
breath.
wife. No, it's like a Groundhog Day.
Yeah,
they don't know that time
yeah.
is frozen.
Right. I got
You
on
do,
that.
they don't.
I still wouldn't do it. I just think the lack of interaction would be really bad for that long a period of time.
Someone says books will be your new friends. The imaginary people that you read in books. For those of us who read, it's like, Harry Potter's your new friend, Alex.
Someone says, Cody, this question's stupid. Move on. Wow. Okay.
Well.
Wow. It's all right. We're okay. We talked sports for 44.
It was Cody's opinion to give this question. Stop. Stop it. 816.
People like the question better yesterday.
We talked sports for 44 minutes before. It's okay. We're going to be all right. I promise.
I think there would have to be a minimum length or an average length of page.
Well, like 250 pages?
Yeah. So you can read a book that's 100 pages, but then in order to make up for that, you're going to have to read something that's like 350 or 4. So
I gotcha. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why I think, like, maybe in the end it wouldn't be 1,000 books. It'd be 1,000 books at 250 pages. So, like, it can just be a total number of pages.
So hypothetically speaking,
250,000 pages.
You could read a bunch of, like, Junie B. Jones, Dr. Seuss books.
Yeah, dude,
and then read
I get
one,
sick of those.
And then read, like, the Odyssey. Or the
I've
Bible
read the Odyssey,
and clear like 1,500, 2,000 pages.
Or the most recent book I read was maybe like 700 pages or something, Drew.
That's wild.
And so, like, like that one should count for 2 books.
Yeah.
Maybe 3 in the count system. But you can't just be ripping through one, redfish, bluefish, and just like, or other places we'll go. You could knock that out in, a couple of weeks. Can't be just reading board books.
The large print,
Honestly, here's the other thing.
Yeah, exactly.
I actually think that would drive you crazier than reading a regular book. If Alex had to read 1,000 regular books, a variety of fiction, nonfiction, medical books, or he just had to read the rub-a-dub book from like kids' books, board books, he'd go insane by the end of 1,000 of those. That would break you. By the end of that, you'd be crazy. There's just no way.
That is the random question of the day here on Cody Gold as we continue broadcasting from Chiefs training camp, presented by Break Time. Whether fueling up or grabbing a snack on the way to training camp, Break Time reminds you not all convenience stores are the same. Download their app and find a location near you. Up next, let's talk about some dark horse MVP candidates in the NFL and a Snitch Line Thursday. I wonder what direction this is going to head. 913-586-7965. It's coming up next here on Cody and Gold.
You're listening to Cody and Gold. Tune in to hear Royals insider Josh Vernier every Wednesday at 12:30. Cody and Gold is brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com. Your home for Royals baseball. 96.5, The Fan.
$30 million in guaranteed prizes you can cash in this football season out in Las Vegas with 3 Circa Sports contests. Entries starting at $1,000, all with zero rake. Circa Million, 18 weeks of point spread action, 128 ways to win. Or Circa Survivor, you pick one winner each week, the last one standing wins. And Circa Grandissimo with a $100,000 entry. Enter in Nevada, play from anywhere, $30 million guaranteed. Visit circasports.com for details.
Hi, guys. This is the Rocket Roger Clemens. You don't pitch in the majors for 24 years without feeling it later. Shoulders, elbows, knees. Trust me, pain doesn't retire when you do.
That's baseball legend Roger Clemens.
I tried the ice. I tried rest, PT, nothing really worked. When I heard about QC Kinetics, the concept sounded promising. Non-surgical regenerative treatments that help your body heal itself without surgery. Sign me up, just what I needed, real lasting relief.
Whether you're a former pro, a weekend golfer, or just want to walk around pain-free again, QC Kinetics uses cutting-edge technology and natural biologics to help restore and repair damaged tissue.
I trusted them with my joints. Now I'm back doing what I love.
Call QC Kinetics today and schedule your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 816-412-6299. That's 816-412-6299. 816-412-6299.
Red Eddie. Football season is just around the corner, and just like your favorite team, you've got to fuel up to perform. At Break Time, we've got your training camp essentials, ice-cold drinks, protein-packed snacks, and all your game day favorites. Whether you're hitting the field or cheering from the sidelines, teamwork starts with the right fuel. Let's go! One team, one goal! Swing by Break Time, your home team for snacks, drinks, and everything in between. Download our mobile app and find a location near you. We're proud to be Missouri made.
Hi, I'm Carter. And I'm Charlie. We'd like to share a quick story about a homeowner named Jack.
Jack had a home he needed to sell fast.
and Jack thought he had it all figured out.
So Jack talked to multiple cash buyers.
Jack chose the highest offer.
But the day before closing, guess what? The buyer backed out,
leaving Jack with the moving truck all packed in the driveway and not sure what to do.
Jack learned the hard way that the highest offer isn't always the right offer.
Jack got suckered.
Make sure you aren't hung out to dry.
Call our dad at Rex Buys KC.
Our dad is local, he knows Kansas City, and he actually closes deals.
No repairs, no fees, no showings, no surprises.
Just a fair cash offer and a smooth process.
Now, don't be like Jack.
Call 816-330-6000 or visit rexbuyskc.com.
Rex Buys KC, helping people make smart choices one home at a time.
I scream. You scream. We all scream. Because Wendy's famous small classic Frosty is just $1 for a limited time. More screaming, happy screaming, summer screaming, dollar small classic Frosty screaming! But please don't scream in the drive-thru. It hurts the employees' ears. Get a $1 small classic Frosty for a limited time, only at Wendy's.
U.S. price and participation may vary. A la carte only, not valid for delivery. Limit 10 per transaction. Price may be higher in Alaska and Hawaii.
Pros, find the right flooring for the job in Lowe's newly redesigned flooring showroom. Shop our expanded assortment of trusted brands and get up to 35% off style selections, Stainmaster, and Stainmaster Pet Protect Special Order Carpet. And while you're here, save $100 on a DeWalt 20-volt max 6-amp-hour 2-pack of batteries. Now just $179. Get more of what you need faster and save more where it counts from the ground up. Our best lineup is here at Lowe's. Valid through 8/26 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
Men, when addressing the problem of erectile dysfunction, you want the right treatment for your specific medical situation because every case is different, and finding the right treatment can mean the difference between just an okay experience and an amazing one. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and at our practices, we offer the full range of ED treatment protocols and can even combine therapies to help make those intimate moments special both for you and your partner. At Heartland Men's Health, we take great pride in providing excellent care and treatment options for ED. Our medical providers specialize in men's sexual health and understand that no two cases are alike, which means you'll get the right treatment for you based on sound medical evaluation and appropriate applications of medical therapies. Plus, we offer treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases, which means if you're like most men, you'll get your sex life back. So call us. Your initial visit is just $99. It includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. We have 3 offices: Overland Park, Independence, and North Kansas City.
Tune in to Cody and Gold starting at 10 as they broadcast live from Chiefs training camp with exclusive one-on-one interviews and real-time updates from practice. This is your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan, KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
1 o'clock hour here on Cody and Gold. Our coverage is presented by Yingling Flight. Football season starts here. Reach for Yingling Flight, the next generation of light beer. Enjoy it responsibly as we continue broadcasting from St. Joe. Practice wrapped up a couple hours ago. They will not be back up here until Monday when they're back in pads post preseason game against the Rams. So it'll be a little quiet up here for the next couple of days. We're back broadcasting live from St. Joe on Monday for our final 3 shows of training camp, and once you get to the first preseason game, then it's kind of it feels like it's over at that point in time. They still have a couple of practices, but I think we're here Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then it's Military Appreciation Day next Thursday, and then they break camp and they're back in KC for the rest of the season.
Yep, thankfully, and I'm sure they're thankful for it too, because there's a practice field with both an indoor and outdoor element, so it's not like it'll cool off at the practice facility, but at least that stuff changing a little bit.
We'll get to the snitch line here in about 8 to 10 minutes or
boy.
so. Snitch line Thursday. You guys can already start sending some in if you would like. 913-586-7965. If you're new to the show, snitch line, we started all the way back when the NBA hotline was happening in the bubble during COVID, because it was basically a snitch line. And so we used to do it on a weekly basis. We do it like once a month now. Anything you have done, anything you've seen, family member, coworker, you want to get off your chest anonymously, you can text in. We'll have some fun with that coming up in a bit. 913-586-7965. Let's get back to talking quarterbacks in the NFL. Not the traits or the rankings, don't worry, from Dan Orlovsky, but the dark horse MVP candidates. And I say quarterback because we know it's a quarterback award. if you're not a quarterback, you're not winning that thing in 2026. It just doesn't work that way anymore in the National Football League. It's been that way for a while. So I'll take out the guys towards the top of the list. You can't select these names for dark horse candidates. Josh Allen's the favorite right now at 650. Lamar Jackson plus 850. Burrow 9-1. Stafford 9-1. Herbert 10-1. Drake May 10-1. And we'll eliminate Mahomes 13-1. Good value, but he's not a dark horse MVP candidate. So we'll cut it off at 13-1 and worse. So
that's fair.
Of the remaining quarterbacks, 14-1 or worse odds. When you think about dark horse candidates, a couple names that come to mind for you. I know that the one that immediately stood out to me on the list was Trevor Lawrence in Jacksonville. I think they can win that division this year. Year 2 now with Liam Cohen.
I've just never seen him put a big number, enough numbers.
Yeah. So he's 20-1 for a reason. He's a dark horse for a reason, right?
Sure. More than fair.
And so I would not, if I only had one bet for MVP, I would not make it on Trevor Lawrence. This is just
probably make it on Patrick Mahomes or Joe Burrow.
Yeah, Patrick Mahomes at 13-1 I think is decent value. Joe Burrow, I feel like desperately media wants him to be great all year and win. I do think that he's got that on his side. So I'd go Trevor Lawrence and then Caleb Williams. Now, Caleb Williams is 15-1, but another year in the NFL with Ben Johnson. You got their head coach out here yesterday saying they want to be the highest scoring offense in NFL history. I don't know if they'll do that, but the fact their coach is going to be that aggressive, even late in games, I like that from a statistical end for Caleb Williams. But he has to also, for the first time in his career, throw for over 4,000 yards. He hasn't done that yet.
Caleb Williams is the leader in the clubhouse of the Narrative Award. They're going to want to give it to Caleb Williams. Like, genuinely want to give it to the third year, second year under Ben Johnson. Like, they're just going
I think Burrow's higher on that like, wanting
okay, so, like,
yeah.
And maybe he's on the list, too, because he doesn't have one yet, and Lamar's got 2, and Allen's got 1, and Burrow has put up some massive numbers. His whole thing is winning the division, which I think they've got a good chance to do this year. As a spoiler for maybe a couple of weeks, if nothing changes in the injury department, I'll be picking Cincinnati to win the division. But for the dark horse conversation, that's why I wouldn't do it. My answer was Jared Goff. And I know I'm way down the list. He is 35-1 in some books. He is below Jalen Hurts, Sam Darnold, Trevor Lawrence, Jaden Daniels, Jordan Love, Brock Purdy, and others for the NFL MVP odds. Here's his last 4 seasons as a starting quarterback in the NFL. 4,400 yards, 29 touchdowns. 4,500 yards, 30 touchdowns. 4,600 yards, 37 touchdowns. And 4,600 yards and 34 touchdowns. The stats ain't the problem for Goff. The only thing I got to do is get his ass to a division win. If I can get him to a division win and a couple of extra touchdowns, so maybe he leads the league in touchdowns, not is somewhere near the top, I don't know why that's all that bad of a bet, especially some of these other guys. Like, Trevor Lawrence has never had a season close to any of the 4 I just listed for Jared Goff. So, I just don't know why his odds are so low. So for dark horse, that's why I like him at 35-1. Still got Gibbs, still got Amon-Ra,
The odds are great. I think the question for him is
the narrative stinks on him, I think.
Well, yeah, I mean, the narrative a little bit, but I also think his best shot was 2 years ago when Ben Johnson was still there and he was a little younger. I feel like everything kind of has to go perfect for Goff, pocket-wise, right? You talk about mobility. He's got 0. So he has to have top-tier O-line play. Has to kind of be, everything's got to function in sync and be set up for him. And when it is, he can look like one of the best quarterbacks in football. I just, the number's attractive. 30-1. The number's attractive, but I don't think he has a real chance at winning it this year. I also think that division, while the narrative can help you if you win the division, I just don't think the Lions personally are winning the division. That's why I'm a little down on Jared Goff.
Can I point out, they're the favorite to win the division.
Yeah.
Are you surprised by that at all or no?
I'm guessing, I don't have it in front of me. I'm guessing they're very close with the Chicago Bears.
It's slightly more than you'd think. I'll give you DraftKings, plus 170 for them, plus 225 for the Packers, not way off, plus 305 for the Bears, plus 510 for the Vikings.
Yeah, I'm not surprised about the Vikings. You know my feeling on Minnesota this
year.
Yeah,
sure. But I mean, there's a difference. But
someone was wondering why I didn't say Kyler Murray. Look, I think the Vikings can have a very nice year. You know that. I think Kyler Murray can have a nice year. I'm also not thinking he's winning MVP though. You know what I mean? There's
how many votes did Darnold get
there
this year in Minnesota?
What's that?
How many votes did Darnold get his year in Minnesota?
I don't know. I think Kyler could have a great year. He's 50-1, but I'm not. I mean, maybe you want me to put $5 on him, but I don't.
Yeah.
I don't think he's winning MVP. I do think he can be a top half of the league quarterback. And with Kevin O'Connell and Justin Jefferson, they do that. That's going to be one of the better offenses in football.
Darnold finished 10th, by the way. And that's the other one. Like, why is Darnold 20-1? I know he won the Super Bowl, but why is Darnold 20-1 and Jared Goff is 35-1? His numbers are better than almost everybody I put up there, Caleb Williams included. Although Caleb Williams can run a little bit, so that'll help him. And I do think that this is a weird one. One thing that works against Jared Goff that we don't mention a lot in the MVP because it normally only decides it when we're down to the splitting hairs category. He's not going to have the Caleb Williams guy at my ankle leaning. He doesn't have a highlight play, right? Nothing he does is going to look like, what a superior athlete. What Jared Goff does to get stats is throw a football. He doesn't dodge 78
he's
people
a pocket passer.
in a way to throw a football. Yeah. He just stands back there and then he throws a football. No play looks all that cool.
No, it looks more like a product of the system and everybody synced up.
But he's put up so many good numbers, you know? I don't know. There's part of me. Drew, you had said earlier, I thought maybe somebody was going to answer C.J. Stroud.
Oh, well, no, because I'm out on him. So.
Yeah, me too.
And I could be totally wrong on that. Right now, I'm completely out on him. I just worry about his confidence level in game. I've said it over and over, I think. And maybe it's a big shift for him. He cut his hair and everything. Maybe it's new C.J. Stroud this year. So I got a new haircut. So maybe that's what he needs. I don't know. But in game, if he makes a mistake, he seems unable to mentally recover in game from it.
Usually when you're down to the haircut thing, it's bad news. C.J. Stroud, it's just like he's probably favored to win the division by a lot more than some of these other ones we talked about. Drew, you said your answer is Dak Prescott?
Yeah, he would be, if you're giving me, even though he's at 14-1, if you're giving me that, I would say Dak Prescott would be my first choice.
He's got the weapons.
Only one team to compete with for the division win, I think. Series contender. Maybe the Giants if you like the long odds.
I like the Giants, yeah.
They got lower chance odds-wise than the Vikings, according to the books.
Yeah.
I mean, Dak Prescott's going to put up numbers, Drew. The question is, do you think the Eagles are going to lose the division?
I mean, in a way, I don't think he has to win the division to get MVP if he's putting up those numbers, because I think the conversation similar to, I'm not just saying this because I'm a Bengals fan, but Joe Burrow was the year they missed the playoffs in 2024. He led the league, I believe, in yards and touchdowns, but they missed the playoffs. If he would have made the playoffs, I think the conversation would have been, should Joe Burrow win MVP even though he didn't win the division? I think that could happen with Dak Prescott, where if he puts up big numbers, if they go 11-6 and they make the playoffs, I think that could be. I think the conversation could be something that happens.
The rare exception was last year where Matthew Stafford's Rams did not win the division, but they were still 12-5, and it took Stafford throwing for 4,700 yards, 46 touchdowns, and 8 picks to win MVP.
The year that
now,
Burrow,
if Dak has a stat line like that, they win 12 games and somehow don't win the East, then I just think Dak Prescott going, let's say, 10-7 and throwing for 4,500, 40 touchdowns and 12 picks, I don't think that wins MVP, assuming there's another guy that's close. I mean, obviously, if Dak simply just has the best numbers of any quarterback all year and nobody's close, well, then he'll win it. But my guess is whether it's Allen, Burrow, Lamar, Mahomes, one of those guys is also going to be near the top of the conversation for MVP.
And so, it'd be interesting to know what happened in 2024. 2024 is the year Josh Allen won it. He finished with 4,300 total yards, and I'm going to give him the total number of touchdowns, even though I think it's a lot of push touchdowns. 40 total touchdowns on the season. Actually, 41 total touchdowns because he actually had a receiving one. Joe Burrow finished the season with 5,100 total yards, rushing and passing, and he finished with 45 total touchdowns. So he was decided, I mean, honestly, statistically, better, and by a pretty good margin, you would argue. And he did lead in both yardage and touchdowns in the NFL. He finished 4th, even with all those numbers. And he didn't make the playoffs, Drew, to your point. Had he made the playoffs, would he have jumped Saquon, Lamar, and Allen? I don't know. And we all agreed he wouldn't have jumped Lamar. Even if he had made the playoffs, Drew, I still think he would have lost it to Lamar. The division winner with 41 touchdowns,
Lamar should have won it, I think,
45 total touchdowns, and 5,000 total yards. He was real close to Burrow's numbers in total yardage and total touchdowns. And Lamar would have won the division, he still would have lost it. You know, it's like you really do have to do something extraordinary or be so far ahead, and it can't be in your own division. And so some of these other things just kind of work against you. I'm not against the Dak one. I just think if you're going to bet them, think that they're going to win the division. That's all.
All right, guys, let's get to a little Snitch Line Thursday here on Cody and Gold. 913-586-7965. Something that you either have done yourself, you have witnessed from a family member, a friend, coworker, something that you want to get off your chest anonymously. We start with a text that came in from the 727. Not sure where that's at. We can double check. Says their girlfriend and them been dating for a year. Has no idea I was married in my previous relationship. So you've been dating for a year and you guys haven't brought up your past relationships, or you have and you just lied?
What?
You didn't tell her that you were once married?
Or she didn't ask. That's a lie of omission, though. Come on, let's be honest. You got to mention that you were married
I
once.
think you're kind of screwed, right? You started the relationship on a giant lie. I'm assuming at some point fairly early on, she asked you, hey, have you ever, what prior relationships? Have you ever been married
What
before?
if it was shotgun? What if it was like they were married a month and it got annulled?
Yeah, but
would you let that go?
The question is, though, two things. A, did your current girlfriend ever ask you if you've been married or how a prior relationship went? Did you lie then, or did she just never ask, and so you've just chosen not to tell?
727, by the way, is St. Pete area in Florida.
Okay.
That's tough. Look, you better hope it was a short marriage or that she is a very forgiving woman. The idea of being with someone a year and them not knowing you were married. A year? They borderline know every person I ever dated. Yeah, I mean, we don't need to go track record for track record, but if I had a serious relationship, you'd think they know a year in how many, vague, and certainly any marriages. This one's a lie, by the way, from the 816. Snitch saw Cody with a shopping cart in the middle of an open parking lot at Costco, and the cart rack was just 15 or so steps away. That's one of the worst things ever said about me on here. Accusing me of being a person who doesn't return a cart? Slanderous. You guys all return your carts, don't you?
Yes.
Alex, do you even need a shopping cart, or are you a basket? I feel like you buy so few groceries, you might be a basket shopper.
Depends. If I go to Sam's Club, I get a basket because I need the
What are you
Propel.
buying at Sam's Club? Single guy on your own? You're Sam's Club shopping?
I realized in the last month I stopped. So I would. Here's what I would prior to work. I would go to Quick Trip and I would get a Propel every day. And I realized I'm paying like $2.89 a bottle.
I saw this to you years ago.
And the powder is not the same. So other people said, "Oh, buy the powder. It doesn't taste the same." So I can buy a 24 pack.
Okay.
For like $14 or $15 of Propel at Sam's Club. So that'd be one thing I buy. I also I can get these. I don't know. They're like essentially vitamins, but I can get those in bulk. It's way cheaper. What else do I get normally from there? I just bought a huge thing of string cheese instead of.
Is your fridge just out of curiosity? Is your fridge literally just one thing of ketchup, 24
no ketchup,
Propels?
No ketchup. My fridge right now.
Are there condiments?
My fridge. No, my fridge right now.
I think it's hard to get the dating game, your fridge.
So
someone comes over to your apartment, they open up the door, they're like, "This is not a serious person." I don't think it's true.
I think
you are a serious person.
My fridge itself, you're not far off though. My fridge has a water pitcher, like purifier pitcher thing. I'm trying to picture right now. Water pitcher.
Okay.
String cheese. A bunch of Chobani yogurt. I also buy that in bulk at Sam's Club. A bunch of Chobani yogurt.
Okay.
What else is in there right now? Not much else.
Is that about it?
Not much
What's
else.
the condiment game? You got some barbecue sauce?
But that's not in the fridge. Like I don't keep that in some of that in the fridge if it hasn't been open, obviously. Italian dressing because I use that as a marinade sometimes for steaks and other things.
Okay. I'm just curious. I didn't know what you keep in
the
there.
freezer has very little, if nothing, in fact, nothing in there right now.
I got a whole stand-up freezer full of stuff. I buy that at Costco too.
Because for me, if I'm gonna make tacos at home, Cody, I'll just go buy ground beef like that day and say I'm making tacos that night.
Sure.
Usually.
I think for one,
you know what I mean.
You can get away with
or if I'm gonna grill steaks, I'll it's a Sunday. I'll go to the grocery store and I'll buy a couple KC strips and I'll just grill them that night, kind of thing.
Sure. Makes
so
sense.
I usually don't keep a bunch of frozen, meat in the freezer.
From the 816, I used to work parking for the Chiefs game. A girl once offered to show me her boobs for free parking. I accepted. Are you allowed to do that?
Say that
What's the
again?
rule on that? They said somebody.
Did you just say what I think you said, or I
Yes, yes.
I think you said show her boobs for parking or something?
Yeah,
but
this person said they happily accepted it.
Say okay.
Is that against the rules?
No. No, it's
I
not
assume
against-
it's probably against the rules.
Not at all.
For that person.
Not at all.
Bold. And by the way, $60. Feels like she could have probably just got someone to pay for that on the internet. So you have to do it in get into a Chiefs game. I don't want to say. Now multiple people saying they never take their shoes off in bed. We know that.
Yeah.
Is that JT texting?
Someone says,
there?
Gold, what does essentially vitamins mean? Okay, so I have, if you guys, I guess I'm going to give them a free plug.
Steroids.
The free plug. Have you seen the brand Gruns? Do you know what that is?
Yeah.
Gruns.
Familiar.
They have like the superfood gummy things.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. So that's why I said essentially vitamins because there's also way more in it than that. That's what I mean.
Yeah. You're just trying to keep it simple. That's fine.
I'm not literally giving
Steroids.
my exact grocery list specifically. I get a 32 count of this and 22 ounces of this. Anyway, elsewhere.
From the 417. The other day I was door dashing. KFC worker accidentally handed me 2 orders. I delivered the one and I ate the other. They handed you 2. What are you going to do? Did you know?
Did you know is the question. Immediate, like how quickly. Now, if it was 5 minutes later, then yeah, it's too late at that point.
I will say, I've had someone at McDonald's accidentally hand me the wrong bag, and their policy is that
once the bag's
second
gone,
it's in yours, they're like, you want this? It's like,
so you get extra fries or whatever.
It's either I don't want it or like, fine, I guess, and I just either will or won't eat it. It doesn't really matter.
I've had it happen one time where I was in a fast food line. They clearly handed the person in front of me my order, and I swear, they tried to give the bag to me, and I said, I'll go ahead and take that. They were all upset, but like they did not do what you said they're supposed to do. They clearly.
That's the rule, though.
Yes, it is the rule.
Or at least I think that's the. From the 816, I saw Cody working out aggressively after the show, after claiming he has 0 time. It's not accurate. I drove home.
We motivated you. How about that?
I picked up my kids from my in-laws who've been watching them while my wife is out of town. I then went home, did the dishes, made my kids dinner. What else did I do? I don't know. We watched a short thing together. Maybe like played a board game. And then it was, get them bathed and bedtime. That was it. I did have a little bit of time at about 8:30 last night. But that's a tough time to work out the motivation to work out. Also, I couldn't leave the house. It was going to have to be a workout at home. My kids were asleep in bed. We're going to just leave.
Someone yesterday did mention, I don't know if you saw this, but because you were talking about baking and cooking, while the cake is, baking, do 50 squats.
They're saying for you to do push-ups while you got stuff in the oven.
Yeah, that's what they were saying yesterday. And instead of, as you're waiting.
I mean, I don't blame them on this one. That seems like a bit much. But I told you, I think the baking, if you took some of the time you spent baking on that.
I bake less than you think. I don't have all the time for that during.
You haven't been putting as much out there on baking. You used to always post about baking stuff. I admit, you don't post as much
I
as that.
still bake. Matter of fact, tomorrow for Fan Club Friday, we have a listener coming in who won the Fan Club Pass and the Cody Gold garage sale. He also happened to be the winning bidder of a baked good from me. So tonight, after the show, I got to bake. Because I promised this guy a baked good personally for me.
We have Matt Foster and one of our listeners, as you said, that one coming in for Fan Club Friday tomorrow.
Well, I can't remember if he's bringing a guest or not, because it was a +1.
3 people's fine. Yeah, we'll have some fun. Continue Stitch Line Thursday here on Cody and Gold. Someone says, saw someone running the other day, thought for sure it was Drew. Then I quickly realized it couldn't be because this guy had a shirt on. That makes sense. That makes sense. Someone says, went to buy beer. Their card got declined. But the cashier said, all good, walked out without a second thought.
I would too.
Oh, so they were just trying to be nice and understand that maybe the person's just having a bad day. You know what? Go ahead and take this one on the house.
But also, one time, I didn't, and I forgot to just activate the new debit card. Oh,
I've had that happen before,
and they just said, all right, see you. Like, okay, bye, I guess.
Yeah.
Bye, I guess. By the way, another poker game tomorrow night. So.
Oh.
So.
You're trying to get some cash flow.
Our guest, before we go to Vegas, our guest tomorrow, Joshua Briscoe, is RSVP'd.
There you go. Yeah, we do have Vegas coming up. I mean, I'm just thinking that's the light at the end of the tunnel here over the next week or so is how we got a Vegas trip on the horizon. Yep. You playing poker? I don't think I've seen you play poker when we've gone to Vegas.
It's been no, not usually. I don't usually go because I got to go down to the Strip.
Hang on, that makes it
some
even
of the circle property doesn't have a poker room. There's only so many poker rooms.
Hang on, that makes it even more sketchy. You don't play poker when you go to the casino or anything like that, but then you have the
Cody likes to be in control. Cody likes the home game, Drew, with the see-through table. The deck that's been messed up. Drew's on to something. I think he's right, Cody.
Alex knows for a fact I played poker in once because I told him 80 times. Hammered drunk before Luke Combs concert.
That was the one time. This was 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah.
It was the Chiefs.
Went to the Bellagio.
49ers Super Bowl, the second one, and we were at the Luke Combs concert. Also saw that Luke Combs just got announced stadium tour, including Arrowhead.
You gonna go see him a second time?
I will. It
was a much smaller venue, though. I'm never gonna be.
This will be
cool.
I like the whole tour, and it's in May, so Arrowhead won't be miserably hot yet. So can't wait for that. That's in May. But no, we were at Luke Combs concert, and on the way back, and yes, you obviously had been drinking. Well, we both had, but you were on a different level.
Yeah.
Walking
We've
back,
discussed this on the
Cody,
air.
I don't know, at least 7 freaking times, Drew told me how he had lunch with our old friend Pete over and over and told me the place in his order multiple times and how he met him at a poker game. So, yes, that's true. It did happen. Someone on the text line says, dang, Cody, no invite to your poker
I told
game.
him I would invite him sometime, and I keep forgetting.
I
was working on I'm sorry. I was working on a backlog list, and I promised him, and I didn't think about it. We haven't played poker in several months, so I owe you an invite.
Someone says, "Let me know if you guys hear me honking. I'm driving north." Hold on, let me take the headset off. No, I don't hear you honking. We are still on campus here at Mo West. Unfortunately, did not hear you.
Someone say ground beef for tacos, you sicko. Ground beef's on tacos all the time.
What are you talking about?
From the 913, ground beef for tacos.
No, I know. I saw the message, but what? People don't make
tacos then?
You guys don't make ground beef tacos?
I do.
Yeah,
Everybody
at home.
does.
Like, I like steak fajitas and stuff, like and steak tacos if it's soft shell. But if I'm home and I go with the cheap taco shells, like the La Tierra or whatever, or whatever it's called, and I'm at home, yeah, I'll do shredded chicken sometimes. But yeah, ground beef.
Depends on
that
the day.
seems like a fairly normal taco, right?
White people tacos is a very common dinner. You throw some.
It's not only white people that eat ground beef tacos.
You throw some lettuce and cheese, some ground beef, little salsa.
Well, sure, but it's not only white people having ground beef.
No, but I think that's a common phrase, I guess, in my household for that version of taco. There's authentic tacos. That's the non-authentic version. You know?
Yeah. Someone says 5-card Omaha or Hold'em, Cody.
We usually just play No Limit Texas Hold'em.
Okay.
It's typically people, and it's low stakes. Most of you are too rich to want to come to this game anyway. Low stakes. You know?
Wait, so you're encouraging you're the opposite of what the poker scheme was for what's his name in the NBA. You're encouraging people that don't have money to play with you.
I still think we should do
that. Seems way worse.
Either a 96.5 The Fan or a Cody Gold poker tournament. I think it'd be a lot of fun ahead of one of the Vegas Raider games.
We had a meeting a month or so ago, myself, you, and Drew, and we all talked about doing a poker game.
I wouldn't participate. I'd be there for morale purposes because I can't play poker. I don't know enough to feel comfortable. I would lose whatever money I brought.
Someone says the Golden Nugget has a great poker room. That's right by the server.
That's right next to server.
Okay, so maybe I'll go play poker this time.
That's right next door. It is. That's a Snitch Line Thursday.
When you guys go to Vegas, Cody, you need to play poker in order to, not come across as...
It's just only having a home... I like a good home game. Honestly, what happened here is we haven't played in months because, camp and all this other stuff, and summers are just busier because you've got more, your kids aren't in school or activities, so there's more time at home in the evenings or whatever. So we just hadn't played in a while, and a couple people were asking, so I was like, yeah, let's throw a game together. There'll be some members of the media there. Not all media, but there'll be some members of the media there. It's like a 50-50 game. Nate Taylor's not coming this time. But
what'd you do?
Nothing. He just,
Nate's making the ESPN money now. He's
on the higher stakes game.
He's in the higher stakes game.
Higher stakes game.
I don't know. What would you consider high stakes for a home game? We're not going to the casino playing 1-2. 2-5.
I think. Well, maybe I'm way off. I think anything higher than $150 buy-in starts to get.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Most people
for a home game.
Most people buying for this game buy for $100.
Okay.
It's a cash game. You could certainly buy in for but it's $100. You can play a long time unless you're just getting too aggressive.
All right, sorry. Text line's great right now. Up next, let's get to what's trending. And earlier today, thinking of Nate Taylor, you brought him up.
Yeah.
He stopped by after practice to fill us in on what Andy Reid had to say about how they're going to handle Saturday's preseason game. You'll hear our conversation with Nate Taylor next.
This is Cody and Gold on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan. Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
Men, if your energy is down, your workouts aren't producing results, you're gaining stubborn weight, losing muscle, sleeping poorly, or just not feeling like yourself anymore, it may be more than just aging. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health. Our low T and body composition treatments are designed to help men regain energy, improve focus, sleep better, build lean muscle, reduce unwanted fat, and restore confidence both in and out of the gym. At Heartland Men's Health, we specialize in helping men optimize their health, performance, and vitality. Using personalized medical treatments tailored to your health and goals, many men begin noticing improvements in energy, mental clarity, recovery, motivation, libido, and overall body composition within just a few weeks. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work, PSA and T-test, and a medical consult. And if you start on treatment the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. We have 3 offices: Overland Park, Independence, and North Kansas City.
Feature therapies are
compounding and have not been evaluated nor approved by the FDA. Provider prescription required. See website for details.
The WNBA season is here, and if you're looking for a W, FanDuel's the place to get it. Because with same-game parlays, you can build your bet your way. Just pick your WNBA players, your props, and stack it all into one play. From those big performances to game-changing moments, you're in control of how you play it. Go to FanDuel.com/local to get started today. Build your WNBA same-game parlays now. Select props like player points or made three-pointers, rebounds and assists, or first basket score. Then combine them into one custom wager and keep track of the action with live betting and game tracking in the app. Whether you're backing your favorites or calling your shots, FanDuel makes every game feel bigger. Because this season, it's not just about watching, it's about going for a W. Visit FanDuel.com/local to get started. That's FanDuel.com/local. FanDuel Sportsbook's the official sportsbook of the WNBA and 96.5 The Fan. 21 and President, Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hi, I'm Danny Gravatt. For over 65 years, my family has kept Kansas City comfortable. At Ready Services, we guarantee expert service in HVAC, honest repairs, never high-pressure sales, get the job done right the first time without the headaches. Visit ReadyServices.com today.
Hi, I'm Jacob, your friend and an actual jeweler craftsman at Shane Company. I'm proud to work for a family business that's been committed to the highest quality standards for nearly 100 years. Your dream engagement ring is designed for quality every step of the way. We set your diamond by hand, not with machines. Prong tips are beautiful and secure, and intricate details are thoughtfully crafted. At Shane Company, there's no shortcuts, just craftsmanship. Because a friend knows true love deserves the highest quality. Visit us in store or at shaneco.com. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/team. That's ZipRecruiter.com/team.
ZipRecruiter. Is reviewing life insurance on your to-do list? Now's the perfect time to add it. A friend recently told me that securing life insurance sooner rather than later can help you lock in lower rates for years to come. So I bumped this up on my list and got it done. I called SelectQuote and couldn't believe how easy and affordable life insurance is. I'm 40 and got a $500,000 policy for $16 a month. My husband's also 40 and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. Plus, with SelectQuote's same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. Knowing I have this checked off my list feels amazing, but the peace of mind knowing my family is protected feels even better.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-329-1010. That's 1-800-329-1010. Or go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. That's 1-800-329-1010. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
Chiefs training camp coverage sponsored by Border Magic, giving your landscape its winning edge. This football season, give your home a winning edge with Border Magic. Custom concrete landscape edging adds lasting beauty and unbeatable curb appeal. Choose from a variety of styles and colors, all backed by a 10-year warranty. SouthKC.BorderMagic.com.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
All right, we're back here in St. Joe. Cody Gold live at Mo West. Our training camp coverage is presented by Yingling Flight. Football season starts here. Reach for Yingling Flight, the next generation of light beer. Enjoy responsibly. Earlier today, right after practice, Nate Taylor from ESPN stopped by, talk a little Chiefs football as he has every single day of camp. We really appreciate that. And our conversations, by the way, with Nate Taylor are presented by Ready Services, keeping Kansas City comfortable for over 65 years with honest plumbing, drain cleaning, and HVAC service. Visit ReadyServices.com. We asked Nate what he made of Andy Reid's comments.
Did us a favor. He says, look, Pat's not going to start, not going to play. It's like, thank you, Coach. We don't have to do this whole dog and pony show for the next 36 hours. But he was pretty coy about how many of the starters would play and how many wouldn't, right? So in my mind, as an educated, interpretation of what he said in the tent, I'm not sure we're going to see Rashee Rice or Xavier Worthy. That puts Tyquan Thornton kind of in the mix to be out there for, like, I don't know, 2 series. I think you're going to see a lot of Cyrus Allen. So he's a guy that you want to circle for Saturday afternoon against the Rams. It appears that Justin Fields may get 2 drives, 2 series, see how it goes. You know, coach likes to reward the opener. Hey, if you go down the field and you score a touchdown, get off the field, right?
You did it.
We can't do anything better than that. So if you're Justin Fields, use your legs, get into a rhythm early. Hopefully you score a touchdown against, I don't know, the Rams' seconds or their third-team defense, whatever Sean McVay wants to do. And then we're going to see a lot, I believe, of Garrett Nussmeier. You want to see Nussmeier, ladies and gentlemen, because throughout this entire process, since the Chiefs have drafted him and thankfully he's been healthy, that man is not afraid. There's been no point where he's not been afraid to put the ball in between defenders, to test windows, to give his guys, quote unquote, a chance. And so I'm excited to see Nussmeier, most likely, based on what we can glean today from Andy Reid, most of the second quarter, hopefully all of the third quarter, and then he'll hand it off to Chris Oladokun for the fourth quarter. That's mostly what I could glean. Chris Jones was very very deliberate in telling us, I don't want to be out here. Please don't play me, coach. Come on now. No, don't do it to me. He's like, we asked him, like, hey, what are the benefits of playing in the preseason? What are the Alex laughed immediately. What are the benefits? You've been in the league. You're going in the Hall of Fame. What are the benefits? At least he wasn't as blunt as, like, Aaron Rodgers was a couple days ago, where he's like, the preseason is meaningless to me.
Right.
But Chris basically said, the issue for me is I don't get to play the Rams starting offensive line.
Yeah. So what good is it?
So what's the point?
Yeah.
I can't get anything from that. He's like, it would be nice to hit someone, but Chris Jones is advocating already to just have the earpiece in, hear the play calls, give out some tips to the young guys who are out there for the first time in an NFL stadium, competing for the future of their careers. But I agree that he doesn't need to be out there on Saturday.
I wish we just had an alternate stream, just Chris Jones mic'd up on the sideline the whole game while he's watching.
This
his
is definitely the
teammates.
one where Clark starts talking in the second
quarter. Yeah.
Well,
they'll
bring in Mark Donovan as well.
Of course, yeah.
Talk about the new building.
Of course.
Yep.
Talk about some of the plans.
Talk about removing GHA and why they're honoring the Arrowhead legacy, all that kind of stuff.
Nate, do you think I'm 100% right? I am convinced they will call it New Arrowhead. And then after 2 years, they'll just drop the new. They won't say anything about it. It'll be quietly into the night.
Yes.
Or they'll call it the Arrowhead Sports Complex.
Ooh.
And they'll give the field a name, but they'll call the area in which the stadium is this is the Arrowhead Sports Complex.
Presented by,
like whatever.
Presented by,
What's
a Kansas-based company?
Garmin?
Sure.
Garmin's a good answer.
Give it to Garmin.
That's a good answer.
Sure.
The Garmin Sports Complex?
Ooh. There's already one of those, right? But,
yeah, true. I'm sure they'd happy to.
We can rip that off and stick it on here.
Well, I
think the best part in this is, not to be super nostalgic, but there's another documentary that I'll mention called The Captain. It's the Derek Jeter documentary. It's presented by yours truly at ESPN. If you want to check that out on ESPN Plus,
Cody hates Derek Jeter,
Plus,
Nate. I don't think he will.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a shame.
I heard Nate's just handing out free subscriptions to us. Now. He's an ESPN guy.
Look, it ain't cheap. I'll tell you that.
I know. My kid wants to watch FC Barcelona. They're on ESPN Plus. We're gonna have to pop.
I mean, it's not cheap. Even I know that. So thank you on behalf of me.
Can I get that login name, or what's up?
Of course. I mean, sure. I think it works on multiple devices. No one's hearing this, right, in Bristol, right? They can't get that frequency up here.
That's right.
But there's a moment in that documentary where they gave the microphone to the last living legend who, was a part of Yankee Stadium, and that was, of course, Derek Jeter, saying, thank you so much. And the building's right over there. And guess who's going to get the microphone when we open that one? This guy. And so Patrick Mahomes will close Arrowhead, and he will open the new Arrowhead. It should be called, just like it is in the Bronx, that's the new Yankee Stadium.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what they called it.
It says Yankee Stadium. It don't need to be nothing else. Now, I agree it can be presented by Garmin or whoever wants to get involved, but that should be the new Arrowhead Stadium, especially because the design is an exact homage to the building as it's being renovated or modernized for a state-of-the-art facility so that Arrowhead, for the first time, regardless of the iteration, can host the Super Bowl in 2034, 2035, whichever year you want to pick.
So you and I know that there's a difference between internet speculation and people who sit around here. One of the internet speculations of the week is that Rashee Rice is overweight. Do you think Rashee Rice is overweight?
Guys.
And this isn't the AI-generated Travis Kelce.
I know. I would phrase it differently from a expertise standpoint.
He's not in football shape yet, is what you would say?
Thank you.
Okay.
Because,
and that's fair because coming off a knee.
Because players can play at various weights. That's not the issue. It's whether or not what weight you are at is conducive for you to be in football shape to maximize your talent and abilities. Guys, I think Patrick Mahomes can still throw the ball well if he gains another 15 pounds, right? I still think Travis Kelce can get open and make a guy miss if he gains 15 pounds between now and opening night. The issue is how does that help you over the course of the long haul of the season, right?
So keep your body up.
Correct. And that's part of the strength and conditioning aspect of it and the nutrition. And the Chiefs have their own dietitians and nutritionists. And so.
But he's playing a little bigger right now.
You could say that, but again, it's August, whatever. It's August, 13th?
He could be down 2 pounds just from being out today and
yesterday.
Exactly.
I'm not worried about it. I mean, even if you played at 220.
He's not walking in here like he was Deebo Samuel from a year or two ago at the Commanders camp where that dude was way overweight.
Correct. And they're not, and I will tell you this, from what I can glean and my understanding of how his progress has gone, it's not like they're asking him to do anything extra or additional after practice in terms of conditioning or they always say.
They're not putting him through the ringer for a guy that they're worried about didn't show up in shape.
Yeah. No. And so he has a while to get in peak, performance, peak, physical condition, I would say. And if he's not going to play in the preseason if he's not going to play in the opener on Saturday, I do think it would be educational and instructive for him to play at least against the Buccaneers or that final preseason game against the Seahawks so that he just has, again, you just get more data, more information about how your knee is responding. You're out there. You want to go through – you don't want everything to feel like so brand new when it's opening night against a very good defense in the Denver Broncos, and that's one of the reasons
good corners.
And why Andy Reid wants guys to play in the preseason so that, again, you are prepared for that extra gear that you have to play at. But I'm not worried about Rashee Rice at all in terms of his weight. I just want him to feel like he's confident in the knee, he can cut, he can show explosiveness, and he's not taking steps back in terms of his route running. Because if your knee is bothering you, or if it's laboring, or if it's just going to be an issue all year long between the swelling and the –
You try to set early.
Yeah, and again, you can – that can impact your technique more than the weight can sort of impact your overall play.
How big of a deal Mansour Delane out of the yellow jersey finally? I feel like it was one of those
pads today.
Sometimes it's like they're just playing the game.
Of course they are.
And it's just like they know that he won't practice, barely have to practice today, doesn't have to practice tomorrow, doesn't have to practice on Saturday.
Not going to play on Saturday.
Doesn't have to play on Sunday, doesn't have to practice on Sunday.
Yeah.
So like the earliest, they put him in a white jersey, the earliest he has to get back on practice is Monday.
They did us a favor. They threw us a bone. They said, look, this practice is going to be light.
But look, no yellow.
Hey, you got something to, now look, don't
better than being in the yellow.
Of course, Alex and Cody now have something to talk about. He not in a yellow jersey. Now, when they in the pads and it's real on Monday, okay, wake me up. Because it's going to be real on Monday. Andy likes to beat the you-know-what out of them after they just played another opponent. On Saturday afternoon, it'll be Monday morning. They'll be right back in pads, and he'll go real. That'll be a real one, kids. And so if he's in a white jersey on Monday, okay, now I'm willing to talk. But today was, as Steve Spagnuolo says, today was a glorified pajama practice. This was a
walkthrough.
Thank you. This was a up-tempo walkthrough, and make sure you know all the plays. These are all the base installs. All right, we're gonna call this on Saturday now. So just know your assignment. Be sound. Don't hit nobody. Obviously, we're gonna protect your body. But hey, it wasn't like we didn't give you the script for you to go out there and do your best on Saturday.
Other than Cyrus Allen, Saturday afternoon at Arrowhead, who's the player you're most interested in watching get some real snaps, or as real as they can be?
Right.
On Saturday.
I really want and now Peter Woods is dealing with an ankle, so I don't know if he's going to play or not, or if they're going to say, hey, maybe he gets a series, maybe he gets 2. But, again, someone you should circle. I got to say, man, Jake Briningstool, this is it, kid.
Okay.
This is it. Put it on tape, man. Put it on tape. Again, as I said earlier, Garrett Nussmeier not going to be afraid to put it in the, give you a seam ball where you get to go get it over a linebacker. So, hey, man, let's see it, right? Let's see you set that edge, for –
that might be more important than the catch part.
Correct, for DeMarcado or for Brashard Smith. Let's see it. I think in terms of punt return, okay, they probably going to put Cyrus Allen out there. So how much can he do from a punt return, kickoff return standpoint? We know we're going to see Nico probably for maybe 1, at the most, I would guess 2 in terms of kickoff returns. I'm going down the list. There's a guy, I think this is the updated roster. Ladies and gentlemen, you ain't heard this man's name
yet,
and you ain't have no reason to hear this man's name.
Okay.
I don't even know this man's name. I'm looking at it right now. I got the sheet in front of me. Number 54, Ethan Hurkett.
Who? What?
Ethan Hurkett.
Legit.
I've been out of camp 3 weeks.
54.
Okay.
Now, think about this. 6'3", 259.
That's a big man.
He
That's
is
like Leo size.
Here we go. He's 24 from Iowa, Cedar Rapids, Iowa. I'm sure all the family coming down to the stadium. That man, over the last few days, has put in, when they were in pass, not today, ladies and gentlemen, but number 54 put in some work on them one-on-one drills, and I think he's also a tweener. I'm just saying.
Is this a 50% of the game, though, for Khalil Benson at right tackle?
Ooh, good
don't
question.
you want to
Yes.
get him like
Yes,
half of
but
the damn game at right tackle?
But the problem with that is, to Chris Jones's point, I have no idea who the
I know, but like
Rams
he's an
are gonna
undrafted
present.
free agent rookie.
But they know he
Any
can play
snap at right
against-
tackle's a good snap at right tackle, I think, for him.
But
Sure.
But they know he can play against another undrafted guy.
Yeah.
Yes, but
I mean,
I think it's just a reps thing, a live game
Yeah,
reps thing.
it's a fair question to ask. He will probably start out at right guard because Trey Smith hasn't
Sure.
practiced all
That's fine.
week.
I want him there, too.
And then when Justin Fields goes off the field and they bring in Garrett Nussmeier, he'll probably kick out, I would imagine, to right tackle.
Let Caliendo or somebody else handle the right cards.
Yeah, so I'm imagining that's the case. That's a good point, Cody. Let me say his name again, guys.
Hurkett?
Number 54, Ethan Hurkett.
Are you sure you're pronouncing it right?
Nope.
I'm assuming this guy's trolling on the text line, trolling Nate and everybody. He says, how have you guys never heard of him? I'm assuming that's a troll text because there's no way.
He covers the team for a living.
If Nate doesn't know that player's
know
name,
100
there's no way anybody
Well,
else.
you have
Unless
to-
you're maybe Logan Weber, who's a diehard Iowa fan. Maybe he knows who he is.
I understand what the text line is saying, but I told you his name, which means he's jumped to he's there's 90 guys. I can't. It's hard to invest in the fours, right? But I got an eye on Ethan.
Okay.
I got an eye on Ethan. Number 29, Xavier Nwapa.
That's the guy that nailed Emmett Johnson
I actually am
on the
familiar with
tackle.
him.
He's from Iowa as well. Another Iowa guy.
I'm just saying those are the two guys.
I like the Iowa
if
boys.
if you're a degenerate, if you're a sicko, if you're a I'm
Yes.
not getting off I'm not getting off this couch in the second half. These are the guys that I would circle. Because it's so hard to know what anything's going to come of these guys. But hey, Ethan's got my eye for that practice squad, young man. I mean,
Good for him.
He was doing
All right.
something. They say he's a D lineman. He's a little tweenerish. Spags, move him around. Put him at the Sam. Let's see what happens. With him. I gave you Jake Briningstool. I think he's the most significant guy who could make the roster, who could give you legitimate snaps in the regular season. I wrote about Andrew Armstrong a few days ago. He's in a battle with Jalen Royals. Jalen Royals, I've been asking for it. He has at least shown up the last two practices.
Yesterday,
he's had a better
nice
practice.
Padded practices. So you know what, young man? I see you trending in the right direction. Let's see it happen. If I was Justin Fields, I would say, look, I don't care what the coverage is. I need you to throw to 13 and 11 constantly. And if we put 88 on the field, you might want to involve him too. Don't get Tyquan hurt. Actually, take Tyquan off the field. But they do need to evaluate 85 and 11, and so Saturday will be the first day to do that.
It's just, I don't know, this part. And look, training camp, preseason game number 1. I'm not saying it says everything, Nate. I'm not saying it says everything, but at the same time, it's got to be saying something. People are still going, Someone says
No,
it's
that person
not.
said they know who that player is. Good for there you go.
I hope it's a family member.
Look, you're in deep.
Or you're an
He was
Iowa
top
fan.
25 in the country in sacks last year. He had 8 of them. He had more than R. Mason Thomas.
Are
did,
you
actually.
saying you knew he was at practice?
I'm just telling you, he had
I'm
more
just
sacks
saying.
than R.
And
Mason
look, and
Thomas
look,
last year.
You know what? I might not know his name, but 54 jumping off the field, kids. I mean, look, you
They brought him up unprompted.
You asked me a name, I gave you a name.
You did.
Mr.
You did.
Ethan, all right? Now, look, he got a little Leo Chenal to him. So, I mean, Leo Chenal was a maniac in college.
Same number, Nate.
I know. Oh, I know. Don't you know it? He got a nice spin move. I think I mean, look, man, he got a nice spin move. He been showing out. 54.
There you go. That was Nate Taylor with us after practice, and now I think anybody
You
listening
need
to
to
the
get
show
him on
today,
next
we'll be keeping an eye on what number 54 does on Saturday, and maybe it will be a name that people do know by the time we get done with some preseason action on Saturday. Reminder: we're back up here Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then we are done with camp coverage from St. Joe, and we really get into the nitty-gritty of the start of the regular season right after that.
Jaden Daniels did make a post on
did he?
Instagram
Here we go.
about the LSU NIL story. Says, quote, "I've been locked in on training camp, and that's been my number one focus.
Okay.
I have a lot of gratitude for my time at LSU, and I am proud of what my teammates and I accomplished there. Obviously, there are some issues to be worked out between my team and LSU, and my hopes is that it'll all get done privately. My sole focus is on the Commanders' football. I realize the business of football is unique, and I trust that this can all be resolved."
Okay.
What needs to get done?
Yeah, that's the
Drop
thing.
it.
What is he?
I solved it, Jaden. Drop it.
Yeah, it'll be resolved. What does he want to be resolved? That they force the
Return
player
Heisman?
not to? Well, they force the player not to wear your number. Like, dude, come on.
I can resolve it in 2 seconds. Drop it. Shut up and never say anything about it ever again. Boom, solved. Like, I mean, there's not even like resolution is easy on this one, Drew. It's not even like hard.
Yeah, it shouldn't be, and it's not even on. It's not on LSU's end.
I guess LSU tell him you're sorry. You know, just because it'll make him feel better.
If anything, I think Rob brought up a good point. He said this is all Brian Kelly's doing because Brian Kelly must have said something where they promised him the number, or nobody would wear the number for a while after him. I don't know, something like that.
Probably. Brian Kelly. It does sound like he would say something like that. I mean,
Yeah.
but at the same time, I mean, there are, you know, for him, it's like this. What a completely unnecessary, unforced error. Just because you're mad someone wore 5. This, I mean, it's sports. It's college sports.
Yeah, he's
you
trying
spent
to
a couple
say,
of years there.
He said that LSU's NIL agreement expired 180 days after he left, from the day of his last game, the day he declared for the draft. However, it has been 852 days, and he basically wants to be. It sounds like wants to be compensated for his name, image, and likeness after the fact now. Like he wants to he wants a new contract. They want to use his name and face or stop. That's just not what other quarterback that's in the NFL that went to a big time university that had in this case won a Heisman is over here trying to make sure he's getting compensated for his alma mater, utilizing him in marketing. Like usually you would we know guys like Tyrann Mathieu and others thinking of LSU, they gladly want LSU to be involved in their promotion, or he wants to help LSU badly, or whatever it may be. It's as I said earlier,